All right. Down the Irons podcast, episode 8. Yeah, it is episode 8. Episode 8. This is finally, we're off the tournament stuff. A little bit of a detour here. We are joined, or I am joined, as always, by my co-host, RaNDiM. What's up?
What's up?
What's up? And the very dedicated, infamous Titan.
What's up, boys?
Not much.
What
Not
was
much.
The most dedicated player.
The most dedicated, the most
Yeah,
infamous.
The best
Titan
part.
of all Titans.
Infamous Titan, as the Germans would say.
True.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, the most recent recruit for Team Germany as well. Going places.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So we are very much mixing it up here. So what we're going to do today is we're going to be talking about teams and players that we either wish we had the chance, or like if we could go back in time and play against or play with these teams or players, who would that be? And then since we were already kind of like adjacent to the subject, we're just throwing in some of our Uncharted what ifs, whether that's hypothetical matches that could have happened, or little different decisions that people or teams made in history, that, or whatever, just anything. I don't have like strict rules for it. I was my like what ifs are kind of here and there, so not super overly structured. We're just kind of gonna chat about some of this. So, Infamous, what do you think? Do you want me to start off, or do you want to take this, since this was your subject of choice?
I mean, you can go ahead. I don't mind.
Okay. I think I'm gonna get an obvious one out of the way here, so we can kind of get this one out of the way altogether. I think for teams I want to play or wish I could have played against, the first one that came to mind, again, a very obvious one, but for me, get positive. Pretty obvious reasons. It's just like filling in this gap of like, I feel like I have a decent idea of how good the team is, but I just want to play against it for myself. And I want to see what they're doing and what they're doing differently. I feel like it's very different, like playing with or against the team, as opposed to like watching their cinemas.
Sure.
There are teams that don't look like they're doing anything special, but really feel like unbeatable. And then vice versa, there are teams that look like fantastic, and you play against them and it's like, oh, okay. maybe not so much. But for me, get positive is really like, there are other teams where it's, I want to know, like, if I could take them in a match, or I want to know, I don't know, like hypothetically how my play style like matches up with theirs. But for Get Positive, it really is just a knowledge thing. Like, this is like possibly the greatest team of all time. I don't know what it's like playing against them, and for me, that's just like an itch that I can't scratch.
Yeah, facts.
Like, fuck. But yeah, anyone else think of Get Positive?
Yeah, they're on my list for sure.
Yeah, on my list as well.
For if you had to decide between like playing with or against, where do you guys?
For me, it's I wish I had the opportunity to play with them, mainly because I feel like there's only so much you can learn from playing against. It's like you get a basis of their strategies, and I feel like you might learn a little more, like a thing or two more compared to like just watching a cinema. But I feel like the true knowledge and understanding comes from playing with them, like hearing all the call outs, hearing if there's an IGL, like hearing the strategies go down, how they react to certain stuff, and so on and so forth. I just feel like you would learn so much more in that scenario. So like we said this in the last podcast, how it's like criminally underrated that fucking that they have barely have any matches on fucking YouTube. It's like you only hear stories and rumors and myths and legends, and it's like fuck, man. It's just like I wish that I had a firsthand account that I could like tell people from experience. Like no, like yo, this shit was crazy, but another itch that I can't scratch, like you said.
I mean, I had against mainly because, um, I mean, they're kind of like the most mythical team, really. Like, you always hear about them from like a few people who may have just only heard about them as well, or maybe they did play against them. There aren't many people I know who actually ever did play Get Positive, and so you only really have like the few videos that exist, secondhand accounts maybe at best, and it's like I just wonder genuinely like how good were they really, and kind of how do they stack up, against the teams that would later come on. Um, because it's like when I see some of the videos, there are some where it's like, okay, they seem pretty good, but then there are others where it's like, there's not really anything to write home about. But then you see that they were successful in Uncharted 3 as well, so it's like,
Yeah.
so I feel like it's just unfortunate that they never really took part in any of the Uncharted 2 tournaments. Because they probably could have gotten a win or two at least. They definitely
Oh,
would have
yeah.
been up there against a lot of the top
Totally agree.
teams. So it's just kind of like there's just a lot of unknown with them, pretty
Yeah.
much.
Yeah. Definitely,
Yes.
you had to be there kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And for me, something that I think I mentioned in our top 10 teams list was
Mhm.
that it's interesting seeing like Get Positive were very, very good in Uncharted 3 and
Yeah.
won multiple tournaments. And they're like the aura and like their like kind of status in the community was like not even close to what it was in Uncharted 2. Like in Uncharted 3
Right.
they were very good but like reachable for like didn't Pro take a map off them or like really close in the
It went to
first
overtime.
overtime.
It went to
Okay.
overtime, and then get positive still won. But
Yeah.
they might have taken another map, to be honest. I forget. I forget.
Yeah.
I
Like
want to say they like lost Syria, but they were like heroes or something. I don't know. Like they were the bottom side. It was like a shit map, but I don't
yeah.
remember. I had that rewatch.
Yeah, yeah. So for Get Positive to be like an elite Uncharted 3 team early on, but still like a handful of teams being like, okay, these teams can beat them. Like they have a chance. If something goes
Right.
right for them or goes wrong for Get Positive, like very doable. But in Uncharted 2, the like there was the like consensus was that like it's just like there's no one who has a chance. Like the closest was the and I didn't even know about this until like way later on was the PWA like early like 2010s era.
Yeah.
Like
Hmm.
they were the only ones who were taking maps off of them.
Yeah.
But again, I might have mentioned this in the top 10 teams sort of thing, but like Pure was like one of the best teams, well regarded as top team at the time, and from what I understand, their matches versus Get Positive were like a like pub stomp, like
Yeah.
which is
And like
yeah
they self-proclaim themselves as the second best team in the game. It's like,
yeah
Yeah.
like who does that? It's like you have to be really far below the top team to confidently and proudly call yourself the second best team. So
put
Yeah,
that
it's
put that in
usually
your
like
bio.
yeah,
yeah, because usually competitor spirit is like everyone thinks they're the best. That's like the
yeah,
classic
exactly,
Uncharted like
exactly,
mentality is, oh, who's your number one player? Yeah, me, of course. That type
right.
of thing. So like when you have people who literally are willing to say, "Oh, we're the second best," you're like, "Oh, hold up, who's number one? Like,
Yeah.
what's going
Yeah,
on?"
facts.
And the players on Pure are not like coy about talking their shit or saying
Oh
they're better
yeah,
than
for
people.
sure, for sure.
They
Like
will.
Uncharted was full of so much ego back then, especially. So
Yeah. So there would be no hesitation there for them.
no.
But yeah. So it's again, it's just like I want to know because again, like Infamous, you kind of mentioned some of the get positive matches. I would say most of the get positive matches aren't really like blowing my mind in that sense. There are some things like when watching Die in particular, like he's always just a really crafty and like innovative kind of player, and there's like very few people who have ever like played like him. You know, take his name off the in the cinema, like hide it in the cinema. You could probably recognize Die, or like for fucking sure I could by his gameplay. But I think even putting like Turtle aside and
Right.
Chimera Gold Guns aside, like he's so like recognizable in the way he moves and all the so many like weird spots and corners to hide or shoot from or climb up that I discover new areas from watching Die. But besides that, like the overall team setup, like I think by far being the first team to effectively spawn trap, like months and months ahead of anyone,
Hmm.
if not years, because I don't know if they were doing this in like the end of like game battles days, in like early 2010, and exactly when the broader community really caught on and it just became normal to trap on Temple and particularly Plaza, because Plaza is a little bit trickier. Like Temple's pretty straightforward, um, but yeah, it's just after watching the cinemas and not being like blown away. Like there are teams that look better than get positive who get smoked by a lot of other teams. So
Mm.
it's like this is just wanting to know like what is it that like really makes this work. And I only feel like I have like most of the picture, but I feel like there's still something missing for me.
Mhm.
Well, that's the thing, though. Like we talked about in the top 10 teams episode. It's like the matches that are out there, like 90% of them are the other team like just coming close to beating them. It's like holy shit, we got 40 kills on get positive. Let's save the cinema, send it to somebody to
Mhm.
upload.
Yeah.
So it's like that's probably why they don't look as impressive, because they just barely win in these matches. Just because the other team was just so ecstatic to even come close that they
Hmm.
had to save it and fucking upload it. So I think it makes sense to some degree.
Mhm.
Just real quick, we'll move on here, but do
Mhm.
you think do either of you have an opinion or a guess as to whether Get Positive didn't like post any matches because they knew they had a competitive edge there, or do you think it was just like they didn't want to put the effort in, like they were just being lazy?
Yeah, I mean, like, part of me feels like that at least 50% of uploading matches is to like let people know,
Hmm.
hey, I'm pretty good at the game. We're better than this team, blah blah blah. But like literally everybody and their mother, like the entire community knew that Get Positive was on top and that nobody was really close to them. So it's like they didn't need to prove anything to anyone. So like you don't need to prove anything. That's 50% of the motivation just out the window. Like Triple
Hmm.
Rec was a content creator and he didn't even care to upload any of their clan battles. It's like he was more worried about uploading other stuff. It's like I don't know. I just feel like he didn't need to.
Mm. Yeah, I'd probably agree with that assessment. Like, I don't know if they really knew like stuff that was like super, super top secret that they just didn't want to reveal. Because I feel like they probably would still be confident enough that they could come out on top against any other team, at least in their time,
Yeah.
even if other players knew what they were doing. Because it's one
Hmm.
thing to know like what to do, it's another thing to actually do it and to do it well. So
Hmm.
I just think they couldn't really be bothered. And the only times you really saw them upload anything is in response to trash talkers or, the troll people or, vice versa, people trolling them. So
Hmm.
Yeah.
yeah, that's the only real stuff you have. And I guess if people made a big deal of even coming close to beating them, then it kind of does tell you something about how good they had to have been at the time. So,
Right.
Hmm.
yeah.
Yeah. Do you want to go next, Infamous, with a team?
Sure. I mean, this. this first team shouldn't really be of any real surprise. So I have it for both a team I wish I played with and against, being TDT. Now the reasons for both is simply because, like, I mean, I kind of played with TDT, but never in an actual like competitive environment. It was always just hanging out with the boys, having a good time.
Right.
And so it was like I had the tag TDT, but I wouldn't have really considered myself an actual member really, because I never played a single clan battle or tournament match or anything. So looking back, I kind of like would have liked to maybe have actually tried to play the game more and actually get into the team and see what it was actually like to play with them. Like for real in a serious environment. It's the same with against. I never really played against them much because they were my friends, so I was mostly playing pubs with them, if anything. So it would have been nice to play against them in a competitive environment, like to just see, like, okay, let's see if how I do. How do I fare up against arguably the best team that ever touched the game, kind of type deal. So yeah.
I don't think you would want to play against them. I don't think you want it.
Just to experience the butt rape, Why not?
I just want to know what it's like. What's your?
I'm not gay, but playing 2D2 is playing 2D2,
Oh my god. I played against them and I regret it.
Yeah,
No.
I'm sure you did, man. All those games against Glock, yeah? All those games.
Yeah. Well, it was Balloon too. Like fucking Christ, it took years off
I
my
mean,
life.
Okay, granted, maybe in that respect, I'm not too miffed I didn't play against them that much because
How
it's
about
like Yowie and Balloon, like, come on, man, I
yeah,
need to be able to actually play the game, like, and not get shot by, shock and AK through walls,
fucking ghosts
But
floating around the map.
so it would have been interesting to say the least. Like I say, if I played for Pro or something against TDT, because Pro gave them a pretty tough game. So who knows?
I do not. I really thought about it, but I do not have TDT for either of mine, just because I mean, like obviously I already played against them, but then
Yeah.
playing with them, I feel like I know as much as I need to, and I also know how it'd go. Like, I'm not bad enough to make TDT lose a championship. They're still winning. So it's like I know how that would go if I was playing with TDT. We win every championship still. I sit in the back with a foul and cheer on Monster. And
Yeah.
it's
But
very.
think about it. You could.
Here we go, Monster. Here we go.
Yeah, but think
We'll be
about
the
it. You could be
critic
on
of
the
the
top
team.
10 list. Top 10 list, bro. With all those tournament wins, you'd be like, yeah, yo, 720 wins, yo, like, come on, or even more than that, depending on how much you played with them. Like,
Hey, you
so,
know
like,
what? You got
get
a
in the
point
rings,
there.
bro.
You got a
Get in the
point
rings
there.
is nice.
Put that in my bio. Yeah. I would be the critic of TDT.
Oh, no.
That's an epic joke, man.
That's crazy.
That's top tier comedy.
That's crazy right there.
But what about you, Randy? Anything for TDT?
No, they're not on my list either. I played against them plenty of times. And I even played with them for one tournament series. And fucking Balloon was goddamn unbearable, bro. It's like he was just so fucking annoying to play with. Like I would never want to play with that guy, man. Like if Balloon came back to the game and he wanted to join Odyssey, I'd be like, I don't know, man. I don't know if I can play for this team anymore. No, I'm kidding, but
Oh my god.
but no, it's like we were destroying the other team. It's fucking round one of a tournament. We're destroying the other team like 50-15, and he's still just being a crybaby bitch, like raging at Slick and just just yelling and fucking getting mad at people, like raging at teammates. I'm like, bro, relax. It's not that fucking deep. He's just a little bitch. Fuck that guy. Anyway.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I mean, you kind of just reminded me of the other reasons for wanting to play with is I just miss some of those guys like Slick, like Like
Yeah.
that was my guy back then as
Yeah.
well.
If this was the TDC, before Valorant, then yeah,
Yeah.
I'd probably be
Yeah.
down. But yeah, fuck that guy. Anyway.
Agreed.
It's the addendum to the top 10 list for players we did. How about you then, Random, for your first team?
I picked. This is a deep cut that not many people will know, but legit illicitness.
Oh my god, you cock.
I
Stealing
knew
my
you were gonna have that, bro. I knew you were gonna have that.
for wait, for playing for or against though? Or both?
Honestly, either or, but probably four, I guess. I don't know. Doesn't really matter to me, both. Not necessarily the team itself. Okay, so for those who don't know, legit illicitness was basically get positive before get positive. It was triple bio, like Butta, and who was
Cross?
the fourth guy?
Cross?
No, was it Cross? Or was Cross on a different team?
I think it was.
I know Exciter was in there and
Oh
somebody
no,
else.
no,
But,
it was yeah, it was oh god damn it. No, Exciter triple bio, but I could
somebody
pull it
else.
up here for sure. Yeah, if you want to go ahead while I could try to
Yeah.
find it somewhere.
Not necessarily to do with the team itself, but just to play in that era of comp. Like that was a team that played on the game battles ladder, like in 2009 slash early 2010 when OBJ was a thing and it was before 1.05 and teams were playing every fucking game mode, elimination, chain reaction, king of the hill, like everything was being played. There were rules for it all, and the ladder had like 300 fucking teams. Like Thugs found the screenshots, and it just crazy shit to look at and think, what could have happened back in those days, like how fun it was. Because the people that were there just talk about it so highly. So it's mostly to play in that era of comp would be so fucking cool. So yeah, that's my pick.
Yeah, so legit illicitness. I have them for a team playing against. Again, I mean, I guess it could be either. But for me, like, if I really want to know how good a team is, I don't want to be like, I don't want to be inserting myself into that like mix because I like change the dynamic of the team. So for me, I just like want to play against their like full roster. Yeah, there's not too much to say. This one kind of along the same lines of get positive, but just like way more of that, where it's just like I just want to know. Like,
Yeah.
I imagine like if we play, like like honestly, like right now, like Void might be able to beat legit illicitness just because it was so early.
Totally.
It was so early that like I don't know if there was any like spawn trapping like really like fully realized team setups especially for like TDM because I think TDM was part of game battles, but again it was I think they had like everything. It was Turf War, King of the Hill, Plunder, and Chain Reaction. So yeah,
and elimination.
yeah, like if I could like time travel, bring my team over to 2009, like I feel like we cook them for sure. But like
yeah, I agree with that.
Either version of like if I could have me and teammates could start with Uncharted 2 totally fresh and learn the game in 2009 and like play against them, or like the kind of vice versa if they just stuck with the game post the like 1.05 thing, then seeing how they again just size up with any and every other team, because I mean we already know that Triple and Bio were like totally fine in 2010 2011, like still top players, especially Triple. Yeah, so it's like why wouldn't Butta, when as far as I can tell, Butta was considered to be a much better player than either of them. Not too much that I know about Exciter, or if it is Cross, if he's the fifth person.
I checked. It was Exciter and Smile.
Oh, Smile.
Smile
Okay.
Dash. Yeah.
Smile. Okay. Yeah, he's another one who I think I sent you screenshots about that too, random, where people were talking in forums like again, like this is I think December 2009. Um where people are messaging like who's the best in the game or whatever, and like everyone like it's like butter, and then like a few people, the only other name that ever came up was Smile, and they're saying like yeah, we like, ran into him in a plunder. He went like 70-2 against us. It's like what the like that's that's kind of crazy, especially as like again everyone was learning the game. Like
Yeah.
why the fuck are you a pro player immediately? Like what the fuck? How are you
Yeah.
like usually that's like okay, this person's been playing and you know doing like try hard customs clan battles for like months or years, and they're running into a bunch of like you know true noobs, but like no, they were all noobs. Like game's been out a few months. Like so that's just kind of wild. Like again, either version of seeing what their trajectory is and playing against them with years of experience, or just being totally new to the game and comparing my kind of trajectory and growth as a player to theirs and seeing how it stacks up. And any thoughts on legit illicitness, Titan?
Uh, I mean, not too much because like I didn't really think about them because, well, truthfully speaking, I wasn't around that much for the game battles era. I was too busy trying to actually learn the game, 2009.
Mm.
I probably only just unlocked Fleet Foot, so
Yeah.
Don't even
so
have all the boosters.
so like forget about oh yeah, let's go do get GBs, bro. Like,
Bro,
uh,
imagine legit illicitness was so good because they were the only team with all the boosters unlocked.
like who knows,
I
bro?
mean,
Who
in the
knows?
screenshot you sent, there were teams higher ranked than them. Granted, those
Yeah,
teams played like 60 matches, and
Yeah,
Legitimatness only played like 20, but
yeah, they were like
those
yeah,
18
teams were
and
playing.
0. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
yeah. I mean, it probably would be interesting to play that era though, just because it's kind of like with what I was saying about get positive is like it's kind of mythical to most players who are around now, or heck, we're even around like post 2010, because like pretty much all those players were gone at that point after
oh
1.05.
yeah,
Yeah.
So
yeah,
It was an
so
extinction
like
level event.
yeah,
literally.
so like it would have been very interesting to like go back in time with what we know, play that like era of like Uncharted, and just see like how that format would have worked and
Yeah,
how different certain teams' success might have been, even because you know obviously the no power weapons TDM stuff for clan battles was that was something to say the least, until the big two crew format pretty much came into prominence with the tournaments. But
yeah.
yeah, so not too much. I mean, yeah, I guess I wouldn't mind playing against them, though I wouldn't expect much with how much everyone's learned of the game
Oh
since.
yeah, yeah.
So
Mm.
yeah,
No, the pick had nothing to do with them specifically. Like, their skill level is just
yeah,
being able to play in that era would have been so cool. But at the same time, it may have been a double-edged sword because if I had played in that era and 1.05 came out, I might have quit too. So it's literally
Mm.
so many people left. So, but yeah. Anyway,
Yeah.
who got the next pick? Thugs?
Yes. I guess. Oh, what do I want to go with? I'll go with. I think this will be a really quick one because I don't know how much you guys will have to say here. But for like team that I would want to play with, um, again, I made a difference of like teams I want to play against are ones that like I want to see how this like their top roster really stacks up and how they play. For teams I would like to play with, I feel like I kind of know, but I feel like I could add something interesting because I feel like a lot of game planning and like practice stuff. I feel like my biggest asset is that like call outs and like being like I'll sit in VC and like strategize like fucking 10 hours a day with someone and we can concoct all kinds of things, and that's like my bread and butter. That's what I like love doing. That's like kind of my passion and like playing school, but really just thinking the game is really the most interesting part of the whole process for me. So for me, in that category, my first team that I would want to play with is Slaves of God SOG plus.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
because first of all, I've never played with Abadesi. The only person from SOG that I ever played with was Uncharted LBP7, who I think is a pretty underrated player.
Absolutely.
And he, funny story, in the era when like I was friends with Uncharted LBP in the like 2013 Pro versus TDT era, and for the
Hmm.
farewell tournament, LBP asked me to join Pro, and I was like practicing with them, and then I think the Croatia was like away for a day or two or something, and when he came back he was like fuck no, he's not in Pro. And so I was on Pro for like 2 days. It's like
What an op.
yeah, like I get it. I was surprised at that time because I was like, maybe that was my peak, like 2013, like somewhere like late 12 to 13 or whatever. And so I thought in that particular time I was a pretty good player, but like Pro is like an elite team.
Yeah.
So like I'd be honored if like someone thought like I was on the same level as like Amelia Nost and LBP, who was on their team, and Reg CZE, who like came back from Uncharted 3 to Uncharted 2. Like he was an Uncharted 2 player for sure, and a
Hmm.
pretty good one. But I feel like he was like way better when he came back after Uncharted 3. Like he was like a freakishly
Right.
good sniper and like really good asset to the Team Pro in 2013. Whatever. So I'm like, I'd be fucking honored if someone thought like I was on the level of these guys. Like, hell yeah. Um, so yeah, LVP invited me. I was like, fuck it, like hell yeah, this is a
Yeah.
incredible team. And then Croatia's like, nope. So yeah, it was pretty funny. But yeah, yeah, for SOG again, like it's a little bit of not knowing too much about them. Like I'm very curious for how their strategies were and how their comms were, because everyone on the team, as far as I know, seems like super chill. So I feel like as far as like the energy of the team, like pretty mellow, and I think figuring out like how to play around and support Abadesi as a kind of lead superstar person, I feel I would find that very interesting and a lot of fun to kind of game plan around that. So yeah.
A fair take. I can agree.
Yeah.
Not on my list, but I had the pleasure of playing with LBP7 a lot in Uncharted 3.
Hmm.
We were 2v2 partners for a very short time that I played the game, but yeah, he was always amazing to play with, and I played against Abadesi a lot. He was also super fucking skilled, so it also would have been cool just to see how that team worked overall. So yeah, I agree.
Mm.
Hmm. How about you,
I
Infamous?
mean, yeah, I mean, I never really got to play SOG either, so I mean, around the time I was only probably just getting good at the game at that time when they were doing like the Big Two Crew tournaments, and even then, when I did start getting good, I was only doing 1v1s, so I wasn't really
Hmm.
the kind of person to be playing CBs or anything. So it would have been pretty interesting. I also never got to play with Abadesi. I mean, I've always seen like his games and obviously know he's good. It's just, yeah, would have been curious to see like for myself how I might have stacked up against him. But yeah, definitely.
Hmm. If you had to play with or against, which would be more interesting to you?
I mean, I always think against because kind of actually what you said earlier, like the moment you're with a team,
Hmm.
you change the dynamic, right?
Yeah.
You might make the team better, but you might also make it worse for right? Because there is team chemistry to to speak of.
Yeah.
So it's like I might not necessarily jive well with those guys. So I'd rather know how I stack up against the A team rather than like potentially make them worse. you
True.
know?
True. True. That's
Yeah.
that's also I think that's also a tiny part of it for me. Like playing like I would be so out of place on Get Positive, But like SOG are like they don't have like top tier like pure like gun skill people, like pure mechanical skill. So I'm like, I feel like I wouldn't be super out of place on a team like that when they have a team that's constructed of solid players with good comms, with with like good strategy and teamwork and covering each other, great at trading, like fundamentally sound team, I think. So I'm like, okay, that makes sense. Like I feel like as far as like my play style, it makes sense, and I wouldn't be like hugely disrupting anything. Um,
Yeah, like whereas back then I was definitely very like gunfight heavy, so
yeah, you'd
I
be
was
like, step
kind of
aside,
like
Abadisi, I got this.
yeah, exactly. Wait, step aside and then just get freaking double team, triple team, and I get cooked, and I'm just like, oh, well, they double team me, they're noobs, you know. Uh, like I mean, I wouldn't be quite as bad as Mario, but like, there were times where it would be like that, where I'm just rushing and I'm like, oh wait, what am I doing? I know they're going to be on the head glitch, double teaming me. Oh, well, I'm dead. So
Hmm.
it's so it's one of those things like I know that my style might not gel too well with theirs, but you never know. It could also work because maybe being more aggressive could have also made a difference for them
Yeah,
in some
maybe having
places.
a duo for Abadisi.
Yeah. So yeah.
Cool, cool. But yeah, what's your next team then, Infamous?
So I actually have OMG. Now, I have played against OMG before, i.e. in pubs, but you know, I was alone, I was a noob at the time, and obviously like that was a nightmare like scenario to be honest. Imagine being a noob and then you bump into Prime OMG. Like
Real.
the A team as well, not like it wasn't any of the B players, it was you got Sergio was there, Kerry Iker, like
Hmm.
Um, so yeah, I just knew like I was absolutely cooked as soon as I saw because I'd seen the names before at the time, but I thought I'll just play. And yeah, I don't remember how bad it was, but I just know like the team didn't get more than 10 kills, and I don't think I got that many kills. So it was pretty rough. But so I kind of want to play against them only because I'm just curious how I would stack up like now or when I actually like kind of hit my peak, which would have been like 2013, 2014.
Mhm.
I'm just curious, like how different would it have been against them then? Because I had played against them on Uncharted 3 and I did fairly well against them in Uncharted 3. I played for like some random team in the Frag Nation ladder and
Mhm.
we had no mics or anything, so we definitely got cooked. But I was slaying. I was getting quite a lot of good kills on them. So I was kind of curious, like how it would stack up if they went back to Uncharted 2, and I was, with a decent team that could actually, shoot back.
Mhm.
So yeah.
Yes, sir. Yeah. OMG is an interesting one for sure, and I do wish I could have played them in a tournament setting, but yeah, we did do a kind of somewhat serious, like we did clan battle versus them, 5-star UT versus OMG, which we won. I think it was just a 2-0 best of three. This was like a few weeks, I think, before the 2013 tournament finals. So they were like pretty warmed up, but still kind of getting into the like flow of things. Like they've been back to Uncharted 2 for a few weeks, but yeah, over the course of the 2013 tournament, they were like progressively like getting back into form, and yeah, by the time they faced TDT, they were like damn near, um, like I would say very close to what they were in their peak. They didn't have Spalgame, I think. Uh,
Correct.
was one who wasn't there, and he's a very good player. So
Oh, yeah.
they didn't quite have their peak roster, and I imagine there is still a little bit of rust. But like I've ran into and played in like friendly customs with all the OMG guys. And yeah, then had like a proper like series as they were getting their practice reps in, like in between tournament rounds. Um, So I feel like I know. I don't feel like I really have any questions about like who OMG are and how good they are. Um, because again, those like two matches that we played were very close, and I don't believe Sergio was playing in those. I think I forget who I think it was Leon Bravo and Hayo Chan were subbed in for Sergio and Spalgame. Um, so yeah, if they're like, and like we had a we had a pretty solid team. It was me, my like 2v2 duo, Sinister, Baltic was there. I think it might have been. I forget who the other two were, but yeah, it was kind of a merger of, as the like clan name implies, 5-star UT. It's 5-star G's and UT. Um, so yeah, it was a group of us who played together like all the fucking time, and we were all like pretty much in our primes at that point, and OMG just getting their practice in without Sergio and Small Game like took us like down to the wire. And yeah, I know that they are like levels above. You plug in Sergio, I mean like he's usually their best player in any
Yeah.
series. And then again, Spal Game is like probably their closest thing to like an anchor, like very like I guess the most passive of the group and really good at covering people and trading, of course, and again just the chemistry that five has. And I have again like no questions about like how good they are, and I know they're all time great. Like so, OMG's not one I have too many questions about. Like besides like I wish I faced them in a tournament. That would have been very interesting ass whooping.
Yeah, same deal for me. I wish I played against them. I played against the members individually in pubs, but never as a full team and never in a tournament setting. So it would have been a cool ass whooping to get, like you said. You guys summed it up pretty much, so I don't need to say too much more.
But then it is random your team next.
I have PWA.
You fucker.
Doug, I feel like we have a lot of similar stuff that we're gonna say.
Bro, we gotta stop talking to each other.
Okay, fine. I quit the podcast now.
No, it's okay.
I'll take his place. Don't worry.
There you go.
Yeah.
I mean, you're really dedicated. So who else would
exactly.
be better?
You can call it the dedicated podcast.
All right.
Dedicated, Titan, infamous DTI.
Irons are down.
All right, guys. 1v1 for the vacant host spot.
Yes. 1v1 GAU only. Anyway, so yeah, specifically PWA in the 2010 era. Any PWA team after that was not very serious at all. So I feel like there's definitely an argument to be made that for like maybe a month, maybe 2 months in 2010 that Mario and Mario's team was the best in the game. Just based off of how they beat Get Positive multiple times, the only team to ever really do that, and we're just fucking Mario was just cooking Triple and Bio in 2v2s, and Triple and Bio were widely regarded as a good 2v2 team. And there's also a bunch of matches of Mario beating a lot of people, like Mac. There's a 2v2 where he and somebody else beat Mac, and I forget who the fucking... It was basically UB, essentially, I think, if I remember correctly. But yeah, like there was definitely a time where Mario was super dominant. And Mario was like one of my best friends in like 2011 Uncharted 2. And he was always such a cool guy. So being able to play on that team when they were on top, that would have been really fucking cool. So that's my pick.
Hell yeah. Yeah, PWA was my other team that I would have wanted to play with. So they are yeah, I mean you summed it up really well, and I'm that is one where I feel like I could slot in to be an anchor role, because like really I think the PWA, the best version of the team, at its heart, is like I'd say like Mario, CJ, Freddy, Naruto.
Yeah, for sure.
And like that leaves an anchor spot open. uh, so I'm like, yeah, I feel like, and again, I've already played. I played with Naruto and Freddy. So I already know that it works very well for me. Again, being able to just like cover for those guys, because I'm like Freddy and Naruto, like both of them, like they're going to just fucking fry people in gunfights. I just have to keep people off their fucking ass. Like, just
Yeah.
keep people away from them. Like, even to fucking decoy die doesn't fucking matter. Just you are not team shooting Freddy or Naruto. I will not let it happen. I can do that shit. So it's. I mean, again, like I just fucking glossed over CJ. Like, holy shit! Talk about frying people in head ups.
Facts.
Like, what a fucking trio. And then you have Mario, who, again, is probably like, again,
Really underrated,
if
I'd say.
yeah, if we ever do like most underrated players of all time, like Mario's. I don't know if I could place him exactly just off the top, but he's like a lock for my top 5.
Yeah,
I would say
absolutely agree.
I would say that he has like 90% of what like the best rushers of all time. Like, what I would say about Mario is that he's like Tice, Sergio, Bosna, if he didn't quite have the adaptability and the I would say both the adaptability and the decision making for like rushing like a madman when he doesn't have a roster like Freddy, CJ, Naruto around
Yeah,
him,
yeah.
and
Mhm.
still doing that like balls to the wall shit. And like, again, like what was the like 13 and 27, was it? I think that was the score, yeah. Like in the IME 21.
He was there a few times, to
Probably.
be fair.
Like, he dropped a lot of very bad scores for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like
9-18.
at some point you got to realize like, wait, this might be this might not be working.
Yeah, for
So
sure,
like
for sure.
so like talent level, like top of A tier, like pushing S tier from a skill standpoint, but he just was not the sharpest
Yeah.
in the way that like the elite comp players are, and it's really, I mean, you get punished badly for being aggressive like that and not quite knowing when to slow it down, or how to counter whatever a particular team is doing against you. Like, it's going to look very, very bad.
Yeah.
But yeah, if maybe I could tell a motherfucker to slow down a little bit,
Yeah.
cover him a little bit, and yeah, I think it would be very interesting to see if we can make that work. Which I imagine. I mean, it worked pretty well for them in 2010.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah. Anyway,
What you got, Titan?
anything for
Anything?
PWA?
I mean, I didn't have them on my list, but I mean, again, I'm like, it's kind of one of those ones of I never really played them either, so hell, why not? I'm the type of person that I'm willing to generally like both for and against, or both with and against. I like to test myself against, the best teams, and heck, even play with the best teams if, possible as well. So would have been interesting for sure, because Mario definitely plays like I did back then. So at least, it would have been, chemistry in that regard. We both would have been rushing out, and maybe he wouldn't have died as many times, Who knows? But yeah, like, yeah, it's yeah, not really much else to say that you two haven't already said, to be honest. Just, yeah, sure. Like, I wouldn't mind playing with or against these guys.
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
Um, so my next one is Pro. as a team I would wish I had played with. Um,
But you did.
before Reloaded.
I was not expecting that, Thugs.
That's crazy. That's crazy. Listen, before the prime, of Pro 2025 and Void,
Yeah.
obviously you gotta go back to the roots, see how the
Yeah.
team was.
Yeah, are you thinking like 2010, 2011 Pro or 2013 Pro?
I'm thinking even like Farewell Tournament Pro as well, to be honest, because they were
Hmm.
pretty solid in that as well. So
Yeah, that was the end of 2013, yeah.
like reason being is being a UK player, weirdly enough, like I don't really know truly why, but Pro was like probably the team I heard the most about as a UK player when I was
Hmm.
starting out.
Yeah.
So it was like that. It's kind of like, I think they even had a few UK players as well at one point. So that might have been actually why.
I mean, D Barker.
Um,
Yeah.
well, with Darren, there was like one of my like closest mates, Crazy Driver, at one point.
Was
There was
Shrimp 23 UK?
Yeah, Shrimp. I'm pretty sure is
Yeah.
UK as well.
Yeah, he was
Yeah,
on
and then
Bro. He was like kind of
yeah,
BDing for them.
yeah. There was like they had a lot of people hanging around when that was UK. You had like Kit Kat Kaz,
Hmm.
J3T, like Vincent, quite a lot of guys actually.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I never really got to play with them because it was kind of like you never really got to be in lobbies with a lot of these players if you weren't really, known yourself or if you weren't really like good. So you were kind of hard pressed if you didn't have connections to like actually get a chance.
Hmm.
But I'd say come 2014, like with the kind of form I was hitting, it would have been interesting to see like what I could maybe add to the team, like if I was actually playing for them. Maybe we would have beat TDT. Who knows? Nah, but like, it's just kind of like, yeah, I guess I probably would have had more synergy with those kind of players, just because same country for, like as Darren. So yeah, just little things like that do sometimes matter for teams.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so yeah, like whereas playing against, like, I don't think there's anything I would have really learned from playing against them. So that's why it's only really just playing with. Like, I don't think they did anything that any other top team wasn't already doing, at that time. So they were just doing it very well as well. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. They weren't like, as far as I know, like an innovative team, but they were, they caught on quick and implemented things really well. And they obviously, like, D Barker was in his absolute prime 2010 to 11, and then Croatia and Maddie have just like basically always been very good, but even better when they're, grinding like fucking 6, 7, 8 hours a day and getting to level 80 and playing with pro like full time and all that shit. And
Yeah.
yeah, definitely a different beast. The 2010-11 Pro, for sure. They're not on my list, particularly because I mean I was invited to Pro in 2013, so I already kind of know,
Those 2 days, those two
Yeah,
days were enough.
learn a
Huh?
lot in 2 days,
I got all I need. No, Pro. Yeah, again, Pro is one that it definitely would have been interesting to really play against them in 2010 and 11 because D Barker, I don't even think he remembers this, but he was he helped out in Yugo Negative, my first team, like literally some of my first clan battles ever was D Barker helped out for a few series. So I kind of know how he plays and how that went. Like he was obviously like head and shoulders above like by far our best players, by our best player. And yeah, Croatia and Maddie were pretty much same level, but also like I think a little bit better at like pacing themselves. Like D Barker had like still had a tinge of like the Mario, just kind of rushing even when it isn't working, and like taking too long to adjust. Like I think 3S3 has a video of you go negative versus 3S3 on the fort, and Darren, I think it was a really close match. Like it was a true 2011 no power weapon fort match. It was like 14-20 after like 15 minutes or something. Um, and in that like short little bit, I think Darren was 4-12. So like most of our deaths for the whole team was just him, and then he ended up glitching. Um, he went into a glitch, which is super funny.
Yeah.
But yeah, he still had a little bit of that like questionable rushing sometimes. Um, but yeah, he was no question about it the best player we had at the time, and he had a pretty stacked roster. Whether whatever composition you have of Debarker, Matty, Croatia, Shrimp, Marchino. What they had Cali Boy and K Mero. They had a few other people, but
Yeah. Actually,
fabulous.
you actually just reminded me. I actually did play with Darren once as well in a CB. I think it was with Gods. I actually, yeah, it was a video I had on my channel at the time. It was against like these German players, and yeah, no, I mean he. I think this was around when I was already getting good, so like I actually kind of put in work for the team, but he did pretty solid in that game as well. I think he went like 13 or 10 or something. Um, but like, yeah, no, he was pretty solid.
What about you, Random? Anything for pro?
They're not on my list of teams, but Croatia is on my list of players that I wish I got to play with.
Oh,
So
oh,
I'll take the time to talk about that right now, real quick. So yeah, funny enough, in I think our first or second, maybe third episode of the podcast, I was talking about how I never got the opportunity to play with Maddie or Croatia. And just recently that has changed. I had the honor of playing with Maddie in the most recent tournaments, and we could not have asked for a better fit to the team. Just super cool guy, super talented player, just overall a great experience. And so it would have been really cool to experience his other half, his duo. So yeah, it would have been cool to play with Croatia for sure.
I don't think it would have been personally. I could tell you from experience, but yeah, I mean,
Evie
fair enough.
Rage.
Eh, I've dealt with that before. Just don't do anything stupid. Nah, I'm kidding, but
If I don't do anything, he can't be mad at me.
yeah, don't do anything to make him rage.
Oh
Nah,
my
I'm just
god.
trolling, but
All right. Well then, yeah. What's your next team then? Random.
I picked Pure. Um,
Oh.
both with and against. I think it would have been cool to play against the All-Star team version of Pro,
The death
just to
lineup.
yeah, the death lineup, just to understand, how OMG's assholes felt after they got cooked like that. So, but it would have been cool to play with the original version of Pure. I uh, I actually got the pleasure of playing UMGs with Naruto and with Halo Expert, and I think even Quadina is a little bit
Mhm.
in Uncharted 4. So it would have been, and the chemistry was pretty good, I felt, and they're super funny dudes. So it would have been really cool to play with them in Uncharted 2 as well. So
Mhm. Yeah, Pure is not on my list, partially because it's another team where I feel like I know what they are, I know who they are, um,
yeah, that's fair.
from a skill standpoint, and also like playing in UT um with Alex and Naruto, and then in Yugo Negative with Freddy and Tice. Like I've already gotten a little bit of like what they all bring to the table, and it's very easy for me to imagine. Like again, it's such a ridiculous. Again, like the fucking death lineup. The only person, actually, no, I'm gonna add this person to my fucking players. I wish I could play with. And I'm gonna replace someone who we've already kind of talked about. That's what I'm doing. Okay, KPT Karma. I'm gonna throw in one of my
Yeah.
players. He's the only one who's like a question mark for me because he was like the leader of Pure, but I don't know. I'm like super curious how involved he was with strategies, how he was as like an in-game leader, and then
Right.
even from a skill standpoint, like I know he's really good, but I don't know. Like there are people with like if you see a few matches, you get an idea of how good they are, but they could be like anywhere in like a range of anything. Like is that like them on a bad day? Is that them on a good day, or is that like this is like the normal for them? Um, but as far as I know, like KPT Karma was, I would say like on Alex's level, maybe a little bit better, but like maybe a little bit worse, depending on like, again, there's not a ton of like cinema from KPT Karma, and he's not talked about a lot.
Right.
But again, he's like the leader of like an all-time elite team,
hmm
and like
There's some gameplay on his channel, but yeah, not much besides that for sure.
yeah. So yeah, like as far as I know, he's like not an elite player, but like a very good player. Like, and so when I think of like a death lineup for Pierre, I'm thinking the one that faced OMG, but potentially subbing Karma in for Chemical. But it also again it like super depends because Chemical has really good callouts, and he is a really good
hmm
team player, really good again trading and being in the right position, like smart guy. He can hit shots and he calls out like really well. So it is Karma like absolutely fucking not calling out shit except a rage and like is he playing for himself, just taking stupid head ups and not like covering teammates? Like I don't know a whole lot about Karma. All I know is that like from a skill standpoint, I think he's a very very high level. But yeah, that's like if someone could have like maybe I should message Freddie and ask him about Karma. That's what I should do.
Yeah.
Um, but but yeah, I know who Tice is. I know who Freddie are. Like they're the just quintessential. Just go out there and get your gunfights and drop
Yeah.
fucking 15 plus kills in a TDM.
Sir.
Like Hulk smash. Like go fuck them up. And then Alex and Naruto are like a fucking like duo made in heaven as far as like in-game leaders and call outs. Like
Right.
they are like of any team I've ever played with, the absolute best at like being like both very very vocal leaders and very like giving a lot of input on strategy without like ever stepping on each other's toes. Never butting heads, never like disagreeing mid match about like no we should do this or like
Yeah.
no fuck that let's do it. They're make it was completely seamless. They had like a well-oiled machine between the with their teamwork. So
Makes sense.
yeah.
You got anything, Titan?
Pure was not on my list, but mainly because like I didn't play like the OG Pure per se, but I did go against them in the 2011 tournament, Big Two Crew, literally round one. I
Yes.
remember that experience a bit all too well. Like I just remember like I think just about an hour before like the match happened, right? I remember Boogie like messaged me going, "Oh, listen, man, got a tournament match. Round one's about to start. Like, you want to join?" And I was like, yeah, sure. Sure, cool. I didn't even think to ask who it was against or anything like that, right?
Yeah.
I remember we were just in the lobby, right? So an hour later comes and they join, and
Fucking
it's like
dying Naruto.
Naruto, Dai, Croatia, Alex, lefties, right? And I'm just like, Oh, that's super funny. And like we got Gamer Pro. Okay, fair enough. Gamer Pro is pretty good. Me,
Yes.
I wasn't really like I hadn't really come into my like form for like CBs or competitive like matches. I was more of a 1v1 guy. So to
Yeah.
me I was just out of my element. But so like yeah, we got like I mean we got beat pretty bad Village. I mean 50-33. I mean I did fairly decent. Trainwreck was well, it was definitely a fucking train wreck, I'll tell you that much. Um
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Gonna go back and watch these matches just to see Titan get cooked.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, I definitely got cooked hard in Trainwreck. But Village, I will always like be proud of the fact that I went head up with Die and took him. I'll always
Hell
be
yeah.
proud of
Hell
that
yeah.
one. Yeah, we're down the irons, but we don't talk about that.
Yeah, we don't talk about that.
We don't
Dive.
talk
It's
about
still
that.
die. I mean, come on.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, just the thought of like going against people like Naruto, Doom, Croatia. Like at the time, I knew these guys were really good, but thinking back, I'm like, geez, man, like
They set
what
you
were
up
we
for
thinking?
failure.
I'm like, yo, we couldn't have, like, we really could not have had a worse draw unless it was OMG first
Yeah,
round, really. Like, you
basically.
could have put us against, like, if they put us against Cab, we would have had a much better chance because we played those guys all the time.
Hmm.
But no, it had to be pure. We had to get pure with Naruto Doom, Die, Croatia. It's like
Hmm.
crazy. Yeah.
That's so
Yeah.
funny.
So yeah, there isn't
All right.
really anything like I don't know about them. Basically, is why I haven't got them on there. I had the bad experience. I took the ass whooping. So yeah.
Yes, sir.
Last round. Who you got?
Yeah, my last team. My last team is We Us.
Oh my god.
Oh come on, bro.
Wait, wait,
Actually, well, yeah,
wait. As a team to play against. Because
yeah.
I want my own video of me going negative. No, in all serious though, I am very curious because like if you watch the Me 21 versus fans, you're like again
They cooked a lot of people.
me
Granted, it was just pubs, but
yeah, like me coming into Uncharted and like hearing and like okay, I'm hearing about this from Keeper. I'm like learning the game with like Farv and Rocco, and I see this. Who's this Me 21 guy? Like, damn, he's cooking them. And yeah, I will. I would say like we as are not a bad team, um, but
we're
yeah,
just a pub team.
the video a little bit misleading. Um, but yeah, they I just think it'd be super fucking funny because I we've seen matches of them again, but you only get so much from that. Like I want my gunfights versus IME 21. I want to see what that's like. I want to see if I can, fucking get him pissed off or something. Maybe he'd make a video about me. Um, I just think it'd be fun as fuck. That one's just that's purely for my entertainment.
No, dude, I totally agree. 1000%. That would be so funny. No, I mean, like for a time, like when I was still a noob, like in 2010, and I had no idea that they were like douchebags or anything. I mean, me was number one in wins on the leaderboards, and
Hmm.
he was up there in kills, and Chrysler was also up there in wins. And I think top 10 in kills. So when I was a noob, just looking at the leaderboards, I was like, yo, I would have played for that team. I would be friends with these guys. So there was a time where I wouldn't mind being on that team.
Yeah, and I
But
mean,
besides that, like you said, being able to play against them and cook them and get a video made about you or make a video about them would just be peak Uncharted 2 B floor.
yes,
So I
sir.
agree.
Yeah, and to be fair, they did like again. I say they're not bad because like depending on what roster, and again, it's like mostly basically just a group of friends who just pub
Yeah,
stomp and like feed their
yeah,
ego that way
exactly.
by like pub stomping
Hmm.
randoms. Um,
Yep.
and then camping their fucking nuts off anytime they run into another party of five.
Uh-huh.
And like occasionally they would win some of those. Um, but I mean, as far as like the players that they rolled with. Like they have some very fucking legit people. Like again, there's I'm me, but then there's Chrysler. I think Mokosito was playing with them a lot. So like kind of the early Ox players. And then you have Maku and Toucan. But yeah, they have some like very legit players on their roster, especially
Yeah,
like
yeah,
Maku.
for
He's
sure.
always the one that like stood
Hmm.
out. It's like, holy shit, this guy is good. Um, but yeah, Infamous, you ever wanted to play with Weas?
Um, I mean, not particularly. Like, I knew about them. I'd seen the videos. I think there were certain players like maybe when I like now that I think about it, that maybe it would have been cool to play against, like Malku, for example, because
Hmm.
I remember seeing some of those scores and I was like, God damn, this guy like 15-4. What's going on here? Like
Yeah,
he's absolutely
just
destroying these guys.
carrying I me to the win half the time.
Right. But I remember what like one time IME21 got dealt a bit of justice because ironic justice I call it because I remember it was me. I was in a party with like Sour A and a couple other people, and I remember we bumped into IME21, but he was on his own and we were in the stack,
Oh my god.
right? And and we beat him and he went like like super negative, I recall. Definitely got like an unlucky. I remember Sour A at the time. Like I'd never heard him like talk on the mic or anything, but I remember he decided to get on the mic as soon as the match was over, and he was just cursing IME21 out the whole time. Right.
That's so
Um,
good.
he probably was in one of the screenshots or something, in that video, so maybe that was why. But
Yeah,
I just remember
sore ass.
yeah, I remember I just remember he called out IB21. I was like, "You fucking bitch!" And then I recall he actually like uploaded it as a thing as well. Don't know if he still has it on his channel, but yeah, I remember that. I didn't do too well in that match, granted, but it was train wreck, so it was cool. Of course, I wasn't going to do too well, but but yeah, he kind of got dealt what he had been doing to everyone else.
Hmm.
So yeah, I never really saw him after that. So like, yeah, I just never like really encountered Weas ever truly. But I always just saw them like what Randy said as more of a pub stomping team where they sort of just catch you off guard where you're not really prepped, or if you're just not on a having a good day. But in a real serious environment, like yeah, I'm kind of curious how they would have actually have done in any tournament setting. I
Hmm.
don't
Right.
know if I expect them to do too well, personally.
Yeah, they'd
Um,
probably be like a B tier team, I'd imagine.
Yeah, like they would be reasonably competitive, but I don't think I don't think they're beating the top teams. Like you know,
Hmm.
so yeah,
Fair
What's
enough.
your last team, Titan?
so yeah, Epic. Mainly because from my perspective, I never like I wasn't around when this team was made.
Right.
I'd already quit the game by then. I know quite a lot of the players that were on this team. Um, So I feel like I probably would have been a good fit for the team, at
Yeah,
least
I
in
agree.
my 2014 form. Randy
Right.
can, he can talk as, being a resident Epic member himself.
Yes,
Um,
good fit, good fit.
yeah, so yeah, it's just it would be cool to just play with some of the boys that I knew back then, like, because I
Yeah.
knew Price Tag, knew Rocky. Randy, I didn't know too well, but I played with him a couple times.
Hmm.
Frederick, I played with Frederick quite a few times as well. Sal, well, he talked a lot of shit to me, so I know him. um, I Wheezy was probably the only player on that team I legitimately didn't know. That's pretty much it, really. But yeah, so it would have been curious. Also curious to see how Wheezy would have been in that era because I always
Yeah,
hear
20,
stories
20
about how he
rushed.
played. Yeah, I hear stories
Yeah.
about how he played back then, so I'm curious. I
Well,
would be.
there's videos. You can find it. He was a
Yeah,
he was a god in Shotgun Room on Plaza. He would hold that shit down.
yeah. So yeah, pretty much. So both for and against, really, because well, why not?
Hmm.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I
I
actually
wish I got the opportunity to play with a better lineup at Epic. So in a way, I agree.
That's crazy. Yeah.
I
I,
just cooked his own team. That's crazy.
But no, for real though, it's like Epic's best version was with Fred, Seffi, and Jag. Just intermingling those players, and I never got to really play with any of those three. I played with Fred a little bit, but it was only like maybe 5-10 matches, nothing crazy. So
mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, Epic are a very good team. I played with them. I was never like formally on Epic, I think.
mhm.
Like I know I played in like proper clan battles with Epic. I thought it was for just one series, but Rock said that I definitely played with the guys for multiple like clan battles, so
Interesting.
my memory fails me a little bit, but this was 2013. I think it was with like Jag and Fred and some of the early people. I know Price Tag was there, and I know Rock. I should have asked to join Epic at the time. I think that's after the like Yugo Negative and UT shit. I was like not as far as like team wise. I think I got like so like burnt out on like trying to be a team leader and like trying to get people online and everything that I was just like, this
Yeah.
is not fucking worth it. Like I'm just gonna like if a team needs someone to help for like clan battles, I'm like around. Otherwise I'm just like playing customs and whatever. And if a tournament comes around, then I'll pull some of my friends together for a team. So I think like in hindsight, I definitely should have like talked with Rocky about playing with Epic because we did well in this series that I played with them, the one that I remember. And yeah, me and Rocky get along like super well. And he's like another motherfucker that will just sit and talk strategy and just go over shit and um so that makes a lot of sense. And I played with Rock on GSR, which was like a team eventually, I think in like late 2014, 2015 ish, maybe, that I was like the next like proper team that I was on because they, invited me. And I was like, okay, I don't know who like half you guys are, but like, sure, I don't have a team. And then it ended up working really well. And I think we won every single clan battle that I played with them except for TDT, and we tied them in a TDM. So I was like, woo! Um, that was kind of fun. It was definitely the best series, closest series I ever had versus TDT. So, um, but yeah, Epic are super good. But yeah, I feel like I couldn't put him on this list since technically I did play with them, and so like probably a team that like would be on my list since I wasn't formally on the team, I guess. But I feel like I know how that would go. Like we would have been a really strong. Like again, I don't think we're beating TDT with me on Epic, but I feel like we definitely could have been a very solid comp team and make quarterfinals or semifinals of some tournaments and had some
Yeah.
good runs. But yeah. What is your last team then, Randall?
I have a really hot take.
Oh no.
Is it
I
Void?
don't know if you guys are ready for this. How do
Is
you
it?
know?
Oh, I feel
No.
like I know what it is. I think I
Fox.
know what it is.
Oh my god.
Is it?
It's
Is it the
gods.
battle of the French EQ by any chance?
You're
Oh
close.
my god.
Oh no.
Oh, is it Sky?
For and against Sky, yes.
Okay.
Okay.
This is also kind of a double feature for the topic of the podcast. It's kind of like a what if scenario. Like, what if Odyssey never, got together in 2019? Obviously, I would never choose to play for any team besides Odyssey because, obvious reasons. But just what if? What if Odyssey never formed? Like, what team would I play for? And I think the obvious choice is Sky, mainly because of NRev. NRev is the fucking homie. I have mad respect for that guy. And, he was also the reason why they kicked a cheater off of their team.
Mhm.
So, respect that for sure. And they were also, the only English speaking team on the game, and they were pretty fucking good, man. Like they took 1 through 3-7 almost to the brink with when 1337 had fucking Monster of all people. So, you put Randy in there. I don't know. It might have been a little different. Take out Sidebot or something. I don't know. No, I'm kidding. But yeah, it would have been cool. And then I also wish I got to play against them. Um, just so that there would be no delusions in 2025 of Sky being robbed of a tournament because they totally would have beat Odyssey, right? No, no shot. So I wish we actually got to play against them, and I wish we fucking cooked them because I know that we would have. So yeah,
Yeah.
that's my pick.
Yeah, I mean 1337 beat them and you guys swept 1337. So
Yeah, like they had really tight matches against 1337, and we did not have tight matches versus 1337. No
yeah.
disrespect. I mean,
After
Temple was close, and
Temple, yeah,
so was Trainwreck. Yeah, Temple was close, and so was Trainwreck. But the other three were pretty one-sided. So if you know Sky is barely beating, and you know Monster's obviously amazing, but I don't think he was a huge difference maker. So if 1337 is barely beating, or Sky is barely beating a 1337, then I don't think they would have had much of a chance against us, to be honest. So
yeah, how do I? I honestly, I'd be more interested. Well, actually, no. I was gonna say I'd be more interested in playing with ENT than Sky, but
oh yeah,
but
I mean,
mostly,
but at the same time, I don't want to be associated with playing with fucking hackers. But it
yeah.
would be cool to be on the
Well,
inside to actually know, you know, full
yeah.
on what's going on,
I would have
and not
been
have
the
to investigate or speculate.
Yeah, I would have been the infiltrator in the
Yeah,
the
the mole.
yes. Yeah, but then I say that because I was thinking like, well, it'd be super interesting to like hear what was going on and with their whole plan and everything. But at
Right.
the same time, I'm like they sound like fucking assholes, and I couldn't stand to actually be on
Yeah.
a team with those guys, so I wouldn't want to be in Sky. But then like, well, if NRev is there, maybe it's different, and
Yeah, dude, it was totally a different vibe. Like in 2019, like before we made Odyssey, we played with those guys all the time, and they were always super cool and super chill. Like honestly, I feel like fucking either life fucking hurt them and they turned into assholes, or it was mostly just fucking Sea Story, just Akasur just corrupting them into being assholes, to be honest.
Mhm.
Because back then they were super cool people.
I guess personality fit and like a style fit. Nothing about that is interesting to me personally. But I feel like you
Yeah,
on
that's
Sky
fair.
would have been very interesting. I'm curious if say you
Yeah.
teamed with them and Odyssey had to find some kind of replacement in 2019, then how would that matchup be? How would Sky match up with Odyssey then? That would be interesting.
Yeah, for sure.
What about you, Infamous?
I mean, I definitely have that morbid curiosity with ENT, when it comes to the cheating thing. But in terms of would I rather play with and against Sky than ENT for sure? I'd rather play as a team that isn't cheating.
Yeah.
And yeah, because I've heard a lot about how good Sky was. From people like Bosner, Randy's as well. Yeah, a few people have said that team was really good, but you know, obviously I never got to experience that. That was way after I left the game. So
Yeah.
yeah, just same thing as quite a lot of the other teams I mentioned is I'm just the kind of person that loves to test myself against the best. So, there's virtually you could mention any top team and I'd more or less be like, yeah, hell yeah. If I haven't played them already, then yeah, by
Yeah,
all
Mhm.
means.
yeah,
So
Weas.
yeah, sure. Yeah.
The
Uh,
number one team.
Clearly. Totally not FM, the guys who never lose or anything like that.
Mm-hmm. True.
But yeah, there isn't really much else to say really on that respect for Sky.
Okay. Fair enough. So that's it for the teams. Let's pivot to players here. And again, I will start off to play with. Fucking pisses me off. This only player I have not like on like my top players list This is the only person I have not gotten to play in like a serious match with. And it's another one that I would guess one of you probably has him on here, but it's Die A667.
Okay.
I have played against him in some try hard ass customs, in some chill, just fuck around customs. Um, but I never got to, and particularly like late 2010, early 2011, never got to actually team with the guy and hear like what his call outs are like. Yeah, and just like again, as a kind of anchor, like covering teammates' role, seeing how he plays and figuring out how to, complement his play style, I feel like it'd be super interesting. And again, like just serving him fucking call outs in the best way I can. I'm curious how that would work, and again, I'm curious how his comms are, if he's an in-game leader at all, because I don't think he is, but like maybe he's like the fucking ultimate IGL. Like I just don't know. Like the only times I've played with Die where he had his mic was usually just like fucking around and making jokes and just playing pubs with him, and running into him in public matches, and where he's just shooting the shit and whatever with his party, and that's all I know as far as him as like a again communicating in comp matches. So that one is very, very interesting to me. But yeah, I'll let you guys take it if you have anything on Die A667.
I think that's a really good take. I played with him in Uncharted 4 a lot. And super funny dude. And I feel like his comms were pretty good. But I don't think I, played in a super, super serious competitive setting with him, mainly because I don't think he took Uncharted 4 that seriously. But yeah, never got the pleasure of playing with him in either Uncharted 2 or Uncharted 3. So, and I feel like that those two games were definitely when he was at his best. So I agree. It would have been really cool to team with, one of the probably top 10 players in the game for sure. But yeah.
Infamous. You played against him.
Yeah, I mean, I played against him, in pure game, and we had the one head up. Yeah, and I won. I won.
Thanks the whole
Just so you know,
fucking 15 years later, bro.
In the Infamous in the video version of this, I'm just gonna have that on loop, just the gunfight over and over.
One dubious head up. Just keep that on rewind. Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, facts.
Oh yeah. Obviously, I'm on the top 10 now, motherfucker.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, I have him on my list because I did play against him in like the one game, and I think I might have bumped into him in a pub once, but like these were times where I still wasn't really like in my element as a player. So like I definitely would have liked to have played against him more so than with, just because I don't know if there's anything like new or groundbreaking to like learn about in terms of call outs or anything. Like maybe just for the vibes, like playing with him would have been cool, but beyond that, like I feel like playing against him would have been much more like what I prefer, especially 1v1, because that was my thing as well. And I've seen he did do some 1v1s back in the day, so kind of curious how I would do, against all of the top players, to ever touch the game. So yeah, that's pretty much all there is to it. Like, just play against the best and beat him in more head ups, so I can prove it wasn't just luck.
Fair. Cool. Who's your first player then?
So my first. Oh,
sorry. Oh. No, I thought it was my turn. Go ahead.
So my first is TySmack 3. For against.
Okay.
Pretty much going to be similar reasoning as Die in that, I know like how good TySmack is. I've seen all the videos of, I played against him like twice. Like he was one of the first comp players I ever played against.
Hmm.
Fun fact. I played against him when he was playing for UB, and I was like in some random ass clan. That was my first ever clan battle.
Mhm.
Yeah, that was rough. I just unlocked down the irons. No, I'm joking. I was a bit higher level than that, but no, it was rough. I'd never done like a comp game at that point, so I didn't know what on earth to expect. And it's like Thai Smack, Outcast, Croatia, like bro, like could you really ask for? I mean, there aren't many teams that would have been worse to play against than that, to be honest. But I think Bad to the Bone was there as well. Um, and yeah, we got cooked pretty hard. I think our team only got like 7 kills. So yeah, it was really bad. It was basically a pub stomp. It wasn't a
Oof.
clan battle by any means. It wasn't a battle. It was
Yeah.
an invasion, and we just got slaughtered. You know.
Mhm.
Um, so yeah, it would have been nice to like, I guess, in a competitive setting, go against him. Which I already mentioned really with the other list. Um, but as a 1v1 like type thing, that would have been definitely cool to play against another one of the top 10 players and see how I stack up.
Fair, fair. Yeah. Tysmac isn't going to be on mine because, again, I've played with and against him, again, in his prime and outside of it. So I know what his deal is. And yeah, it is comparable to, again, you watch his gameplay and it looks a lot like Sergio at times, like Dai at times, like like Bosna at times, and yeah, I would say for Tice, it's probably what you expect. Like again, it is like playing any great rusher. His aim is fantastic. Again, I think he's the second biggest fan of Turtle, of the Riot Shield,
Yeah.
and anytime, especially in like just fuck around customs, like that motherfucker would go straight for the shield, and I swear to God, he had it for half the match sometimes. Um, and yeah, he was insanely fucking good with it. So, but yeah, I know Ty Smack. How about you,
Yeah,
Ren?
that's fair.
Tice is also on my list, but to
Ooh.
play with, not necessarily because I feel like I need to know something or figure out something, whatever. More so, it's just that, like, I think he's like the only player, like, throughout all three Uncharted multiplayers that I don't think I ever really played with. It's
Hmm.
like pretty much all the big names I've played with at some point. Whether it was on two or three or eventually four, like even fucking triple wreck, I was decently loosely friends with in Uncharted 3, and then I played with him in The Last of Us a few times. Like even that motherfucker, I've somehow managed to play with, on a team, and just to briefly learn, what kind of dude he is, briefly learn what kind of teammate he is, how he plays, blah blah blah. But Tice Mag is like the one motherfucker that I don't think I ever really played on the same team with, more than maybe like one match or two. So just for that reason alone, I'm like, motherfucker. Yeah.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Yeah, that's fair.
Well, cool. I guess since you just did one random, then I will move on to my next one. Again, another person we have kind of mentioned already. It is Maku. Um, yeah, one of the players that is like the most like I have so many questions just about this player because like basically all I know is that like he had I me and all of WeUs in his backpack.
Yep.
He had a reputation, and I know my brother Keeper uh, would attest to this that he's like up there, like in the conversation of like best AK aim in the game, but also in the conversation for best snipers in Uncharted 2, and that is literally it. Um, freakish aim, freakishly good sniper, and could do it in, against really good opponents, as seen as he just kind of walks all over everyone in the IME21 versus fans scoreboards. And it's like I can't imagine like what if he was just picking out screenshots of his best games, what that would look like if he's like going fucking double triple positive against some of the best players like ever. Um, crazy good. That's all I know. Yeah, I just know he's fucking cracked. Like, I just wish I could play and hear the comms if he even uses his mic, or if he's another Freddy, or if he again, I don't even know too much about his play style. I know like he's a pretty aggressive rusher. I mean, I guess if you're frying everyone in gunfights, then it's kind of hard not to just run around and you know
Right.
go looking for people to fucking smack. Um, but yeah, he is like, if I ordered this, he might be my number one, because I'm just like, I just want to know. I just want to know. But yeah.
I think that's a really good pick. I was pretty good friends with him in 2011. I think he was definitely like another Freddy type that hardly ever used his mic. And he's mostly played pubs.
Hmm.
But yeah, he was super fucking good, man, and a super cool guy, super cool guy. Um, and yeah, definitely a really underrated player too. Like he would definitely be on my underrated players list if slash when we ever make that. Like back then I was mostly a pub star, so I didn't like know too much about what was going on in the comp scene. But I had a friend that was really into that shit. Even though he didn't really play, he was also a pub star, but he followed all the comp teams and whatnot. His name was Aries D1. I don't know if you guys remember him at all,
Yeah.
but yeah, I highly respected him and his opinion. And Aries would always tell me that he thought that Malku was like top 5 best players in the game, maybe even top 3. So I was like, oh shit, this guy's legit.
Hmm.
And yeah, just playing with him a lot, I definitely got to realize that for myself. So yeah.
Uh, well, I mean, I yeah, pretty good pick. Like, um, he pretty much was carrying Weas in those games, and I've seen the sniper clips. Like this guy, like it was insane. It was like the sniper was a regular gun for him, really, to be honest. Like it looked, I'll be honest, with some of the clips, some of them like were multiple clips in the same match, and it's like, bruh, dude is just running around like the snipers is AK for real. Like, yeah, it was crazy. Um, so yeah, it definitely like I'd probably say like he wasn't on my list, but like thinking about it, yeah, I wouldn't have minded playing with him just to like see like that kind of thing for myself, and having somebody like kind of like a Freddy type that could just absolutely slay, you know, doesn't even communicate or anything like that, but it doesn't matter. You can depend on them to get the job done.
Hmm.
Um, and also would have been cool to play against, just to sort of again see how does one stack up against someone who's allegedly the best AK player
Hmm.
or AK aim.
Yeah. Just based on like what I I like heard at the time, it was like AK and like head up gunfights, like the like do not fuck with list was CJ, Freddy, Maku, and Yoladon 123.
Oh yeah, that's my boy right there. Yo, yeah.
Yeah, Yolo. So those were the, and also I guess later,
Mario
yeah,
Madness
Mario,
2.
yeah, Mario. I don't remember if I heard that at the time or if that was later, because I know obviously you've told me that, random, and I know
Yeah.
for sure someone else had mentioned like the same thing to me. But I'm not sure about like the timing of that, like if he was like renowned, like ubiquitous in the way where like you're not even like deep in the comp scene and this name and their reputation like preceding them. Um,
Yeah.
but certainly for, yeah, like Freddy, CJ, Maku, and Yoel, those are names that I heard before like I really knew who the fuck they were. But yeah. Um. So yeah. And who's your next player?
Uh, my next player is someone you've mentioned already, but I didn't really comment on it at the time, and that's Mario Madness, the man
Oh, nice.
himself. Um, it's going to be again same reason, like you know he's usually like on most people's top players list of like all time, especially for like head up players as well. So I kind of just would have loved to have experienced that, especially in the 1v1 format, because like to be honest, he's kind of like the ideal match like that I would enjoy because I'm a rusher, so is he.
Yeah.
So he doesn't spam nades, which is like a playstyle I always respected for 1v1.
Hmm.
Um, and he doesn't spawn kill or spawn camp or anything like that. He just pure gunfights, just push, doesn't even like slow down. Man could be white screen, but he will still chow you. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Um, so like it'd be cool just to play, against him, see how I stack up because I've already played against some of the other like players, like Yoel for example. I've 1v1'd him before, so it'd just be kind of cool to knock some names off the list,
Yeah,
and
for
put
sure.
myself up there, because
Hell yeah.
always got to be number one. Uh, but as for playing with, I mean, I guess just because it would be kind of maybe it would things would have gone better, like I already mentioned when I brought up playing with that team, but um, at the same time, I don't know if I would have enjoyed it that much either. So it's I don't know, hard to say, but yeah, that's all I have to say about Mario. To be honest, I think the name kind of speaks for itself.
Yeah.
Um,
Mhm.
yeah,
Gotcha. That is. I don't know why I just thought about that. It is a very fitting name. This is Mario jumping around.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Like
right.
the quintessential bunny offer, man. Like, yeah,
That's so funny. Anyway, but yeah, I know I've talked about Mario enough. I feel like I said my piece on him. I don't know if you have anything more to add, Random.
Oh, no, I think I'm good.
All right, all right. Then
Yeah.
who's your next player?
This is more of a personal pick. This is more of a 2011 random personal pick. I don't expect you guys to have much to say at all, but I went with Miami Mob.
What the fuck?
oh, that,
Yeah,
that is
yeah.
that is a yeah,
Miami
that is a
Mob.
crazy pick.
That is a niche take for sure, for sure.
Yo, that's
I played with him a lot in Uncharted 3, and he was such a cool guy, and also a really good player. Like low-key, kind of underrated, but a pub star. So you can only get so much respect when you only play pubs. Um, but I played with him a ton in Uncharted 3, and it was just such a fun time. Dude was funny as shit, and just a really cool human. And back in 2011, I always, I would play against him in pubs all the time, and I'd get fucking cooked by his whole team because he was always playing with like the MPQ guys. And just the 2011 version of me always wished that I could that I knew that I met and became friends with him a lot sooner because playing pub stomping with him and MPQ would have been really fucking cool. So that's the pub star Randy take. The 2011 pub star.
Oh, okay. Yeah, not on my list.
I didn't expect it. Don't worry. Y'all don't even have to talk about him. I don't care. I just wanted to throw that in there.
That's interesting. Yeah, I always thought trying to think how and what I know about Miami Mob. Yeah, Miami. What the fuck do I know about Miami? I want to say I didn't have a super high opinion of Miami. I think because either my brother played with or against him, and I think he like beat his ass in some games. like
That's
I,
fair. That's fair.
like my brother's also like a like a pro level player at least. Um, I can't remember. It also might have been like a kind of guilt by association thing where like my brother like cooked some like party of five that he was in, but like he did fine or
Right.
something. Yeah, I don't Miami. I don't know too much about him, although just like in my head canon, he's like a good, not great player. But honestly like mostly a blind
I
spot for
agree with
me.
that.
Okay. Yeah,
That's fair.
maybe just as a matter of not playing a lot of comp.
Yeah.
And maybe easily could have adjusted to play more serious matches, but yeah, I don't know. Anything for Miami Mob Infamous?
I mean, I not gonna lie, that kind of took me off guard because there's a lot of names that you can think of. Miami Mob was never a name I ever thought of, like even a second. You know, no disrespect. It was just more
Yeah,
like
no, I know it's a niche
because
take.
yeah,
Totally
because
cool.
I've seen the name a few times, but he was never like I don't know what it is. I guess he just never stood out to me because now that I think about
Yeah.
it, he was in some of those like screenshots in the IME21 video, but like his name
Right.
just maybe it's just the name, maybe just the name doesn't roll very well or something. So like I just never really like I don't think oh man, Miami Mob man, what about that? Like
Yeah.
but I could probably believe he was a solid player, but like I don't think there's anything to test myself against with him. I
Yeah.
feel like
Yeah.
that's he'll just be another solid like very good player that's probably slept on just because he's not
Yeah.
as like
Yeah.
talked about, but
First time
not
I've heard
anything.
his name in like 15 years.
Literally, bro.
Yes,
Literally.
yeah, like I didn't know if he was trolling or
Shout
like
out to Miami Bob.
like what's next, man? So I
No,
would just say,
it
you
is
know,
definitely not a take that is comp related at all.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
just
yeah.
that, yeah, it's like it's just that back in 2011 when I was a pub star, I always thought it would be cool to play with that crowd, like Miami Mob, The Kid, Mind Playing Tricks, Dark Rebel,
Oh,
super cool guy. And
yeah,
I got the pleasure of doing that a lot in Uncharted 3. So I just think back of having such a good time with them on Uncharted 3, and it makes me think, damn, bro, like I wish I met them in Uncharted 2 and was friends with them in Uncharted 2. So it's definitely
yeah.
a personal, not comp related pick for me. So
Fair
I
enough.
didn't expect you
Yeah.
guys to have much to say.
Yeah, yeah, there isn't much else to say really. Like, fair enough. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No?
Anyway,
Okay.
who's next?
Tis I. And I have another one that is kind of in the vein of Maku, and where like I have a lot of question marks, but I've heard like amazing things. And I think I've talked with you a little bit about this guy, Random. It's JMVP24.
Oh yeah.
He's a little bit of an enigma, I guess. He like kind of was a comp player, kind of not. He was on Yellow Baby Asians with
Hey yo, what? Hold on.
That's their fucking clan name. At least in
That's
Uncharted
a
3 it
crazy
was.
name.
Yeah, it was I think it was Taiki M13, CD Waver, Near Rivers. They had like a
Oh
couple other
gosh.
people. Funky Cupcake, I
Oh, I know
think.
those guys.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I know some of those guys.
Yeah, so JMVP like kind of rolled with that whole crew, with the greatest clan name of all time, YBA
Jeez,
star. Yeah. But yeah, what do I know about JMVP? JMVP is one that I think mostly, again, this is another one that that the keeper spoke of quite a bit as being like the first name whenever you're talking about like a weapons expert, like anything they pick up they're elite with. So like
Interesting.
yeah, pick up a shotgun, he could pub stomp, shotgun, sniper, whatever you name it. He changing up his play style to work with each of those weapons. And I know like again, my brother had difficulty like playing against him. Like he was one that was always very difficult and very crafty. And I remember there was like I do have like one of my earliest Uncharted memories was Keeper playing against him on like a Sanctuary TDM. I'm pretty sure he ran into like the full like party of them, and there was like a series where JMVP like quick scope or like jump scoped him, like blind fire sniped him from like my brother was on like inside the like top base with like a foul, like trying to pick him off or whatever, and JMVP just like was on sniper and just jumped up on one of those like covers, and then like either quick scoped or just like jumped off and like blind fire sniped my brother like halfway across the map, and then sorry, he spawned up, and next life he got like pistol laid by Jay. Next life, he got it with the hammer. Then next life he just like lost a gunfight to JMVP. It's just like holy fuck, there's like one person is just like hunting down their keeper. Like that was one of my like earliest memories. Again, like I was probably like a level like 30, 40 something at the time, and yeah, he earned my brother's respect, and I was watching that fucking match. I was like, who the fuck is this guy? So as far as I know, he was like head and shoulders the best player of that group, and again, he has like a few matches on YouTube, but just like pub stomping, and again, you can see the same thing. I'm pretty sure in those matches he is just like what from one different weapon to the next, deagle, sniper, shotgun, back to his AK, switching up to the FAL, and um, just one of those guys. But yeah, I'm super curious, like really how he stacks up against like the top competitive players, um, and yeah, I'm not even thinking about like comms or IGL stuff because again, I don't know how seriously he ever did comp. Um, but yeah, that's about it for JMVP. I don't know if either of you have really any thoughts on him.
I don't know much about him personally, but what's funny is that I used to back in 2011. I used to play with my childhood best friend, and he was pretty good friends with JMVP. So
What?
I should ask him about him and just see what he remembers, see what he could tell me.
Oh, literally, yeah. Yeah, I'll ask Freddie about karma, and you
Yeah.
figure out what the fuck's up with JMVP. Because why the fuck wasn't this guy playing comp? Because holy shit.
Yeah, right. You could say that about so many players.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you have anything, Titan? Should we?
I mean, I didn't personally know of JMVP. Like, if it's a name I ever heard of, I definitely forgot, to be honest, just because, well,
Right.
he wasn't really in the scene that
Yeah.
much.
Uh-huh.
But I know some of the guys that he played with, like CD Waver. I
Mm-hmm.
used to play with quite a fair bit. Taiki I know as well, a little bit. Like, I played against him a few times. Um, so yeah, I mean, it would have been interesting, I guess, just because it's always a nice thing to have more comp players, like God
Mhm.
forbid you play against the same 10 players, So,
Facts.
it would be interesting just to have more competition in general. But beyond that, I haven't really got anything specific for him because he just wasn't really ever on my radar personally.
Yeah.
Cool.
So yeah.
Fair enough. All right. Who's your next player then?
But yeah, Borba. Pretty simply put, he was around. He was playing a lot of 1v1s around the time I was playing, and he was just one of those players I just never really got the chance to like go up against. But I'd seen like videos of him playing against Mario. I've seen like him play against all these other guys, and he always seemed like a fairly good 1v1 player at least. I can't really speak to how good he was in terms of like comp. But at least in 1v1, that was kind of where I'd have been interested the most to play against him because I think the only real time I went against him was 2 times, which was once in a random pub playing on Forecast's account, and like we had 2 head-ups, and that was kind of it. And then I think it was another game was it was during I think it was it was a tour. I think it was one of the tourneys in 2013, maybe, because I was playing for Joker's team, Joker 8899. If any of you two remember that name at all.
Yep.
Briefly, a little bit, yeah.
Yeah, like I played like a tournament match against. Oh God, what was the team name called? I can't remember what the name of the actual team was. I don't think the match ever ended up on YouTube or anything, but I have the cinema actually on my game. So, but Borba was in that match on a different account. I just didn't know it was him at the time. But then Bosna told me, "Oh yeah, that's Borba." I was like, "Oh, okay." So yeah, that's pretty much it. Those 2 times were really it. So I don't have a lot to really go off of him as a player as a result. So just would be curious to see how he was in that time when he was arguably in his peak. Um,
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
fair enough. Yeah, I don't have too much to
Right.
say about Borba. I think I've played against him a little bit in the past. And I know like teams he played on were considered like pretty strong, but didn't hear too much about him. And yeah, when I played against him, it didn't really stand out. Like definitely a strong player, but yeah, just not someone that really stood out to me. And I definitely have played against him quite a bit, but this is like mostly probably 2012 to 13, I think, and yeah, that's pretty much it
yep.
for me.
Yeah, I played against him a lot post Uncharted 3. Um, but I feel like he probably wasn't the same player he was in 2011, at least to my knowledge. So it would have been cool to play against 2011 Borba. Yeah, that's fair.
Hmm. Yeah, oddly, he's not like someone I heard about at the time too much. Um, be interesting for sure because I might have played against him as far back as early as 2011, but I genuinely can't remember. Um, but yeah, he was definitely a name that I knew of very well, and after post Uncharted 3. But who's your next player? Random. How many more do you
My
have?
just one. I couldn't think of anybody else, but I feel like there's probably more players out there. But yeah, this is just my last that I have written down. Um, and there's a little bit of an asterisk because I did play against this player, but I wish I played against this player more. That being Faboles.
Oh
Okay.
dear.
So yeah, I wish I got to play against Fab more. Fab came back to Uncharted 2 in probably like 2014, I believe, playing on Cloaked Shooter. Uh, and this was also at a time where he was like posting YouTube videos saying like talking about how he's changed and he's a different person now and he wants to do good and put good into the world, all this and all that. And we ran against him in pubs and he immediately thought I was Naruto Doom. I think because my avatar Naruto Doom had maybe one time in X amount of years or whatever. He thought Ramos was Quadinez or Halo expert, and he thought Grim was fucking Tice Mac or something. I don't even remember.
It's crazy.
But just straight up dumbass, straight up dumbass right from the start. But yeah, he added us and wanted to be friends, and I think this was like right before we knew it was Fab. Maybe like I don't think we heard his voice yet, something like that. Um, and eventually we realized we're like, holy shit, bro, this is Fab. Like, what the fuck? And we were just totally like just in shock. Um, but you know we played with him for maybe like a couple weeks, just like very very skeptical, very like cautious, being like when is this dude gonna turn into an asshole, and he was just unironically just a super funny guy, but just kind of from like a dumbass standpoint, like funny to laugh at, not necessarily like funny humorous. So we played with him with him for a bit, just for the memes. And eventually, he went back to his old Fab ways where he started, talking shit and blaming teammates, all this and all that. And eventually I 1v1'd him. The video's on my channel, so check that out. And I played a 2v2 against him, but I always wish that I got the opportunity to fucking stomp his ass in a 5v5. And it's similar to your I me pick thugs. I wish, there was that piece of Uncharted 2 beef lore history that I could say I have, is just stomping Fab in a 5v5 against TC or something. So that would have been funny.
Fair, fair. Yeah, that makes sense. I'm not like personally interested in playing against or with Fab, just because I feel like I me was just a better shit talker, and I think he's probably a better player, honestly. Um,
Player, yes. Shit talker, I disagree. I don't think anybody beats Fab for shit talking.
really,
Yeah.
wow. Top
I think
10
Fab was
shit
the
talkers.
biggest shit talker. I mean, he's the most infamous player in Uncharted's history. So Fab was the
Oh,
most
okay.
infamous shit talker in 3, and I think and
Yeah,
Last of
he's
Us and 4. Like,
Okay,
no,
okay, okay.
I think Fab is the most infamous person in Uncharted's history
yeah,
by
he's
far.
a generational shit talker.
Yeah,
Like he like when you look up the word, like the meaning of the word, it's a picture of
yeah,
Fab rubbing his
like,
nipples. That's
like
that,
there are some videos out there of like, people beating I'm me and like, shit talking him, just posting the video, but
Hmm.
there are hundreds and hundreds of videos of people beating Fab and posting it, and I was literally one of them, so
Okay, okay, fair enough,
yeah,
fair enough. Didn't Carrie Iker like 1v1 Fab?
yeah, he
now that you
did. He
mention it, I
did.
think he did, yeah.
Yeah, he did.
Even
I've seen the
Carrie's
video.
in on it, Jesus.
Yeah,
Croatia
bro,
also.
everybody. Yeah.
Croatia.
Even Blah Racer, right? iShock Bio, wasn't that Blah Racer? I could have sworn that was a video on Chris's channel, maybe.
Maybe I could double
I'm
check.
pretty sure you sent me that cinema, like way back, like in like 2014 or something. I could have sworn you sent me that cinema. I'm gonna look it up right now because I'm curious.
Yeah, I'm gonna double check because that might be true, but if it was Blah, he did not use that account much.
Interesting. Oh yeah. I mean, it was a low level account, so I don't think it was super super used. But let me try to find it. Anyway, go ahead, keep talking.
That I was done. I'm not really interested in playing against Fab. I did not know he was such a notorious shit talker on Uncharted 3 and 4 and The Last of
Really?
Us. So
Wow.
yeah,
Damn. Yeah, dude.
I
Public enemy number one by far.
Yeah.
can't.
Yeah, yeah, bro. Literally, the description on Chris's video: Uncharted 2 1v1, iShock Bio versus Fabulous. Credit to the cinema goes out to ThuggzBunney. So the
Oh,
low level alt account is Blah Racer for those wondering.
okay, okay. No, fair enough. It probably was something where Blah sent me the cinema,
Yeah,
and it was like, oh shit, iShock Bio is a fucking Blah cinema thing.
yeah.
Um,
Blah won 11-2.
Jesus
That's funny.
Christ.
Anyway, next pick. Go ahead.
My last one here, or actually, okay, yeah, my last one is because I was debating putting these all together because I have Butta and two other people. They're all like GB players, but we already kind of talked about Butta, so um, my last two are Jungle of Love and Llama Bates.
Nice, nice.
Yeah, I have to because again, these are like we have some receipts for Butta, and we know that he was like at least debated, and it seems like popular opinion was he's the best player in like GB days. Um,
Hmm.
but from keepers, uh, just opinion and what he knew of the time, which is like going to be way better than anything I know. Um, is that Jungle and Llama Bait were like just as good, maybe better. Like that was like
Wow.
the trio of top players at the time, and I believe, I think I forget what their game battles team was, but they teamed up with Kadite Eos, who I guess RaNDiM you didn't know much about, but he was someone I definitely played with, and against Kadite. He was like good friends with Dai, um, and I believe Kadite like introduced Dai to Butta and Llama Bait and Jungle and all these fucking people, and
Hmm.
basically Dai was really really good at the time, but again, just recalling what I was hearing at the time, it was like Butta, Jungle, and Llama Bait were like the fucking like gods of the GB days, and kind of brought Dai under their wing and like kind of fucked around and tested a bunch of stuff and taught him stuff and kind of created a fucking beast that Dai became. And I don't know if I'm giving too much credit to them for, if Dai was just inevitably gonna be like one of the best players in the game,
Yeah.
but But I am, just very curious. Playing with or against, like, I just want to know what the fuck is up with these people and what's your deal,
Yeah,
Butter and Jungle and Llama Bay, the
totally fair take.
stupidest fucking names ever.
Facts.
Llama
Yeah,
Bay.
definitely. Those names are cooked. Forget about it.
Yeah, I don't know if you have anything on the old GB people. Yeah, we kind of mentioned Butter.
Yeah, same deal with legit OSNS. It would have just been so cool to play comp back then. So I agree.
Mhm. Anything infamous?
Uh, yeah, I mean, to be honest, though, I hadn't heard those two names before. I'm kind of glad I didn't, to be honest, because what on earth? But like, yeah, no, I guess curiosity, like it'd just be cool to see like what those era kind of players like. Were they really like good, or is it just they were just kind of ahead of everyone else who were kind of relatively learning the game? Like, just be kind of interesting to see where they actually were at compared to where things are now. Um,
Mhm.
Other than that, though, not particularly like not anyone that would have been on my list or anything like that.
Sure.
So,
Yeah, I mean, I think like 99% of the people who would even know those names are not at all active or involved in Uncharted in any way.
Yeah, facts.
yeah.
So, like, random. I think
Those are true OG names.
you and me might literally be the only people, like maybe Icarus,
Yeah,
but I mean, he knows now because I told him some of this stuff, but
right.
like, I don't know who the fuck. Or actually,
Yeah,
Onage commented on one of our, I think our top 10 players vid. I think it was
yeah,
that one.
yeah.
And
Hmm.
he played in game battles back in
Yeah, I saw
2009.
that. Yeah, that's crazy.
So yeah, fuck man, gonna get
It
Onage
was
on.
crazy to see like names I recognized and like the really big Uncharted 2 YouTube videos for the time, just like names that are just like in the background, like for example, in the Mario Madness game where he destroys Get Positive on Trainwreck, he goes like 25 and 14. Like on Triple Rex team is Corrigan, Corrigan 117 or something like that.
Mm.
And he was in one of those screenshots that you sent me of GB. I was like, yo, I know that guy. I just it's like putting a face to the name in a way. So
Hell yeah,
shit like that, yeah.
cool, cool, cool. Well, yeah, I think that's it for mine and randoms lists. Infamous, if you want to run down your last two or three.
Yeah, what is it? One, two. Yeah, I've got three, last three. So I'll just run down those, and because there's only one I have anything really particularly to say. The other two you can kind of already guess my reasons. Um, so Alfred, Freddy, Sergio. I mean, those should be pretty obvious as to why.
Yeah.
Um, and the final one is very personal. Is Croatia.
Hell
Because I'd actually played with Croatia a little bit. He was one of the first like known players I had added, even like on Titan when I made that account and started playing with like or tried to get good at the game and try to play with more of the comp guys. And he was one of the first like that added me and would play a few pubs and whatnot and even customs. And this guy would be roasting me constantly in game mic, like because
yeah.
naturally I wasn't any good at the start, so I'd be going negative quite a bit. So this guy, bro, he'd just be I can't really remember specific things you'd say, but all I just remember was a lot of raging and just being like, "What the fuck are you doing? Why are you even playing this game?" Like shit like that, right? And I just remember thinking to myself, "Yeah, just you wait, motherfucker. When I get good at this game, I'm gonna absolutely cook you." Um, well, the chance never really came because by the time I really came into form, he'd kind of already stopped playing the game. So he was
Right.
just one of those players that I just want to bump off my list just because just want to be like, yeah, motherfucker, you thought I was a noob all that time ago. Who's the noob now? Like that kind of shit. It's just an ego thing, really.
Yeah.
Um,
Sure.
like especially because I think he was one of those players that he's a good comp player, but I don't really consider him as like particularly like individually skilled. I think he's like solid, but he was just really good for like a team kind of setting. But as an individual player on his own, like I don't think he was really all that. And I would love nothing more than to just smack him and you know put him in his place. That's pretty much it really for Croatia.
Infamous holding a grudge 15 years later.
Just man remembers those days. Man remembers those days, man. I was a kid. Yeah,
Oh
well,
my god.
it is what it is.
Well, that's fair. Yeah. Yeah, I definitely what Sergio of that group there, I definitely have played with and against Croatia and Freddie. Sergio is one I haven't gotten much time, so and again, especially in like tournament context particularly, but yeah, he didn't play in that series 5-star UT versus OMG. And yeah, never played them in a tournament, so that would be fun to see a fucking focused, locked in Sergio and
Yeah.
see how that goes. Ugly as it may be.
Hmm.
Anything for that one, random?
No, I don't think you guys covered it.
Okay, okay. Well. Um. So just to like, I guess, be done with this kind of subject on like my end at least. I'll let you guys have like a final word on it if you want. But my first what if is, I mean, I would say what if the fucking 1.04 comp players stuck around, but I think specifically for me, I'm thinking Llama Bait, Jungle, Like Butter, and the last one who didn't leave with 1.05, but was just kind of progressively less and less active until like I think by early mid 2011 he was just done. And that is Blah Racer, who we kind of shouted out a second ago. So
Mhm.
yeah, the pretty straightforward for Buddha, Jungle, and Llama Bait, just wanting to see their trajectory and how they evolve with the whole comp scene and what kind of rivalries would have been there. But Blah Racer, the one we haven't really talked about is sorry, when I said like as far as like don't fuck with these people head up, I mentioned CJ, Freddy, Yoel, and Maku, but I think yeah, the if I'm throwing in one more, well, I guess Mario. But if I'm throwing in one more, then it is Naruto Doom's number one player of all time, Blah Racer, um, who was, yeah, I mean, there's a video I think where he's kind of smoking Naruto in a 1v1. Not sure how serious that was. Um, but I mean, I don't know how much differently a very serious match would have gone because again, this was Keeper asked Naruto. I forget exactly what he said, but he's like, "Who, in your opinion, is like the most underrated or like unknown like player that like isn't talked about?" And Naruto said that Blah Racer not just underrated, but probably the best player that he ever faced. Um,
That's crazy.
yeah, so that's like very interesting to me, and I, I mean, I guess I could if I could add in a little what if here. What if I didn't fucking delete all my old videos because I swear to fucking God, um, I had some recordings of Blah Racer. He sent me like a bunch of cinemas, like probably like a dozen videos, and it was like the 1v1s with Naruto. There were other ones I know there was a series where he had like 3v3 or 4v4 stuff versus Ox, and I want to say he went like 15 and 6, 15 and 5, something like that versus them, and he just had some like old matches from like these are all like early to mid 2010, and then I think the Naruto matches were like late 2010. I want to say, but yeah, all throughout 2010, like cooking, like okay, wow, he's facing Pro and he's going like triple positive, and now he's facing Ox and he's going triple positive, and Some of them he just sent like some pubs where he was getting like 30, 35 kill like rampants like um so like, and these are old like some of them were 1.04 like rapid fire foul matches and whatever, but very interesting player. And like funny enough, he came back a little bit in 2013 and played with Yugo Negative, so I got a little bit what Rusty asked Blaurisser, and swear to fucking God, the first day he came back, motherfucker got a rampant. The first fucking day he came back to Uncharted after like what 2.5, maybe 3 years
What the fuck?
off the game. Yeah, and it's on
That's crazy.
YouTube. 20 rampant with like me and Huzak Day. Yeah, in a
I
match,
remember
and
that guy.
yeah, this is fucking ridiculous shit. Like, it was, yeah, got a rampant on Plaza his first day back, and yeah, got him on. He played like 1 or 2 series with us, um, and did really well. I think only one of those matches was on YouTube, like a train wreck. I uploaded it just because I did really fucking well in it, but it was for CAB, and I think he had an okay match, but I mean, again, it's like first comp match in however many years, like first like month back on the game, and I think he went like 9-8 with like an assistant or something. So he had a solid game. But yeah, I was just like, ooh, a lot of old like 09, 2010 people, but like I think particularly, or at least for someone we haven't really talked about yet, Blah Racer is like a major one because yeah, he was he's very much like the archetype, I would say, of CJ. But his foul was absolutely fucking nasty too. So maybe CJ with a little bit more foul gameplay. But I don't know if you have any thoughts on iShock Bio.
You basically stole two of mine at once, kind of. Well, I guess two of mine are very similar, but you stole them. But
Yes.
now we're even.
Good.
Yeah, so one of mine was, what if like Butta doesn't stop playing the game? Which I think would be super fucking interesting because we talked about this in the very first episode of the pod, um how Die made other people look like trash, but like Butta made Die look like trash.
Mm-hmm.
And so, and like besides that, like dude was like a pro Halo player. Like in the like I know that from besides what I'm about to say, but even in the screenshots that you sent, like the Game Battles website,
Yeah. His
it
rank.
had, yeah, his rank, yeah, like for match wins that you got experience points, and then based on how much experience points you had for your personal account, it would give you a rank compared to everybody on GB across all games. I'm pretty sure,
Yeah.
yeah, across all games.
And like
And like Butta was like top 1,000 or something out of like probably close to 1 million players or some
yeah,
shit that used
in
Game Battles back then.
all the screenshots, like every Uncharted 2 GB team, it's like all the players are like 15,000, 20 something thousand,
Yeah.
50,000, and then like but top like 2,000, I think it was.
Yeah,
I was like, shit.
literally crazy, man. Literally crazy. Like if you're making Die look like a fucking noob, it's like imagine if a player like that never stopped playing. Like would we be talking about Sergio? Would we be talking about Die, or would we be talking about like Butter?
Yeah.
That would have been super fucking cool.
Mhm.
Um, but not only that, to branch off of that even further, what if 1.05 never happened? What if they never made the dumbest mistake of decreasing the health and killing the comp scene?
Mhm.
Just, again, based on the screenshot you sent, there were 300 teams, 300 fucking teams signed up for the Uncharted 2 competitive ladder. And sure, yeah, I know not all 300 teams were active, but even
Yeah.
30% of those teams, imagine just 100 active teams, bro. Like,
Yeah.
whatever the fuck whatever the fuck the math is, just imagine not even half of that would have been fucking crazy
Yeah.
to be able to play against and to for that to continuously grow over time to like, all the fucking comp teams that we do know about that were super famous in 2010, 2011, for all that to happen on game battles and to just all those players continue playing would be super fucking cool, man. It'd be so fucking cool. And then to branch off of it even further, what if Uncharted 3 and Uncharted 4 multiplayers were never released? Like,
Oh
what
fuck!
if we just had
Oh,
fucking
Now we're
10
talking,
years of everybody playing Uncharted 2, bro? Everybody fucking playing Uncharted 2. Nobody ever stopped, ever. Like,
bro.
we would have Get Positive versus fucking TDT. We would have OMG versus everybody. We would have the fucking Pure God Squad to see. We would have them playing Get Positive. We would have them TDT. We would know everything. There wouldn't be any question marks. We would know absolutely fucking everything.
Bro.
Why
yeah.
couldn't Naughty Dog have given up on their multiplayers after Uncharted 2 and not Uncharted 4? Come on.
Oh my god. That's insane. Yeah. I mean that covers like a lot of what ifs for me, honestly. That's that's a pretty good way to frame that. Just stop fucking releasing multiplayers. Oh my god. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's a lot to unpack. I'll give you guys some time.
Yeah. Well, okay. Oh my god, what the fuck is this? The first one you started with the yeah, but interestingly, I want to say like again, this could be a whole conversation, but in my opinion, I don't think there are like two things. I guess to this, we're going back to chronocentrism, boys. Um, for like, but like I think he would probably be like top 10 player of all time. But I imagine Monster and Naruto still like eclipse him and maybe a few other people, just like based on like the again, kind of like we alluded to. Part of what makes people so successful in those early days is they like caught on to that shit like so fucking fast.
Yeah,
Like within
yeah.
months, like they just understood it, and there's such an advantage. Um, I mean, think about like no matter how good a team is, consider if they don't know, if they don't have a good understanding of like all the like on a temple TDM, they don't know the stronger positions. They they'll get to catwalk, but then they'll leave it because they don't know they're opening those spawns there. They
All right.
they won't block spawns to get themselves to spawn out. They won't hold like a full trap from like catwalk, deagle, and hammer. If the opportunity's there, they aren't on top of all like the power weapon timers. Like, imagine like a good team without all of that is like absolutely beatable. Like they multiple levels down. So having an understanding, like not to say that they knew all that because they definitely didn't know like everything in all the lengths, especially because again they're playing 5 different game modes or
Yeah.
whatever.
Mhm.
But with all these different game modes, again a new game, like you have to figure shit out quick, and a lot of it is just the fastest, the most creative, the most innovative. Just like people come in and are just throwing shit at the wall, and some people just again they just get it. And once one player gets it, they share with their team, and then they start practicing this. They're like, oh shit, we can implement this into our gameplay. It just steamrolls, and you create such a huge gap where you just absolutely can demolish teams. But yeah, then you like after years and years of the game, once like everything just becomes like sort of common knowledge, then there's so much work and that goes into crafting and polishing these things and making sure the communication is on point, making sure you're like reading your own setup and the opponent setup well, so you know like how and when to break it, and how and when you have the opportunity to set up for a particular trap or whatever. Talking about objective modes, knowing like the absolute best times to be moving the idol, knowing when to neutralize or capture a zone or whatever. All these little things that we're kind of figuring out, and you kind of just have to play and play and play and practice and figure it out. And then some motherfuckers just get it. Like it's like they
Yeah.
aren't even figuring out; they just have it. Um, So yeah, I think that they keep playing. Like obviously they're super talented. It's not just like a gap in knowledge. Like I imagine very intelligent, very creative, and very talented, but the knowledge gap closes. And then when it comes to skill, I imagine, the greatest players we've ever seen in the game are still right up there at the top. Um, but yeah, there's this kind of I imagine a nice merger where all those OG people get to grind, and the competition they're facing gets much better, which sharpens their skills, and yeah, they continue to innovate, and maybe shit like spawn blocking when you're trapped would have come earlier if we had all these like real innovators and just people who think outside of the box. Um, Maybe that would have come earlier, and yeah, that's basically my whole thing with the comparing the OGs to the new era. Like it's just a totally different project, and I think that
For sure.
both would coalesce very nicely as like both the greats of each era would find a very comfortable spot, like at the top of the game. Um,
Yeah.
and yeah, what do you think about the? Well, I guess I didn't really talk about. I guess I can loop back around to the 1.05 thing, but I'll let Infamous go since I went on a little bit of a side quest there.
Um, so what this is about if Buddha hadn't stopped playing.
But and then
Well,
You can talk about it all.
yeah,
yeah,
Uh,
yeah, I'll just cover it. I'll just cover pretty much the gist of it. So, like, if those players kept playing, and 1.05 doesn't happen, and they're like playing all the time, and then you have all these other players come into the forefront. It definitely puts comp in an interesting place, I think, because like everything we know about, you know, the current comp stuff in the past, or well, the current history has been very much like TDM heavy and not
yeah.
very much, objective
Oh yeah,
types
it's
and
another
whatnot.
thing. Yeah. Yeah.
So like
The
there are
history of
certain
Uncharted would have been
teams,
with OBJ. Yeah, yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
yeah, so there are certain teams that like were just simply really damn good at TDM, but probably wouldn't have been anywhere near as good in OBJ, and that probably would set the difference for those kind of players, at least early on, because well, obviously in game battles they were already playing those kind of modes. They were playing everything. So as for like catching up, because like I'm sure players like Monster or Bosna or like any top team would eventually like catch on and learn the in and outs. Um, I think it's interesting because I don't think certain teams would be maybe as dominant as they were, but they could very well still be. It's not like they would. It's not like those teams immediately get washed, but it me like there's at least more reasonable contenders, and it kind of makes competition more exciting because it isn't just kind of a given who's going to win. It's like, oh, it isn't going to be just between these two teams. It's going to be like, oh, damn, actually, there's like these three, like four, five, six teams that can all like be in the runnings.
mm,
So I think comp would be more interesting, and it'd be interesting to see how those new like old players would be if they then adapted some of the new stuff that the newer players like ended up doing, like the movement and stuff like that.
Right.
yeah,
Um,
yeah. Literally in the sorry, just a real quick, in the same way that like we all are kind of like borrowing all the ideas that were like discovered in '09 and 10 and implementing that, like everything that we're doing now would be going right back to them for them to again add to their
Yeah.
game and to continue
Hmm.
to build on.
Yeah, because like it's like even for myself, there's stuff like I know now that I definitely didn't know when I was playing a lot. So it makes me kind of want to, damn, like how different would things have been for me if I'd known that stuff or just spent a bit of extra time, studying things and, like because that advantage definitely does something. And even when people eventually catch up, there's something to be said about being more refined in
Yeah.
it because you've already had the prior knowledge. Whereas everyone else is like only just learning about it and then having to actually practice it and make it work. And
Hmm.
um, So yeah, no, it definitely would be an interesting place, and we probably still would see teams like OMG, TDT at the top, but maybe there would be more teams in between that would take a win or two, here or there on a good day. You never know. It's
Hmm.
yeah, it definitely would have been an interesting time for sure.
True, true, true. I think one thing I
Oh
will
yeah.
throw in, if 1.05 never dropped, get positive might never happen. Because Triple and Bio had to find new teammates after, you know,
Yeah.
everyone left.
Yeah. That's
That's
super
true.
interesting. Or maybe like Butta and Exciter just become get positive, you know?
Yeah.
Or maybe they just stay legit illicitness and eventually recruit Die and Lock On and Nitro.
True, true,
Um,
true.
yeah, imagine get positive with like Butta.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Die and like Butta being the Slayers to that team. Jesus
That's
Christ.
crazy. Yeah.
I'm
And,
just sort of like, I'm also just curious, like, because in a weird way, like with the whole butterfly effect, I just wonder, like, would we have had the tournaments that we did have? Like, I feel like, because I think there's a certain charm to the tournaments that we did end up having
yeah.
because the comp
I
scene pretty much died.
I
Um,
think I
I
think
wouldn't
Big
say
Two Crew would
necessarily,
have happened,
yeah,
but I think there also would have been like,
Yeah.
6, 12, whatever the fuck GB tournaments as well, you know?
Yeah.
yeah.
And
It's yeah.
the Big Two Crew tournaments probably would have been OBJ, to be honest.
Yeah. You know what's
It's probably would have been similar to what D Barker and Thugs are doing. Like Thugs has his own shit, and then D Barker has his own shit, and probably the same thing
Yeah.
with GB and
Yeah.
Big Two Crew.
you
I would
know what's
imagine.
crazy is I don't know if I ever would do tournaments then because I started
You
doing
wouldn't need
tournament.
to, yeah.
Well, the only reason I did again was because like after Uncharted 3 dropped, and I was like, well, this game fucking sucks. I was like,
Yeah.
and I was like, well, like a shit ton of people are still playing Uncharted 2. Like the top players left, but like a lot of my teammates and a lot of like
Yeah,
CAB and God's people were still hanging around. I'm just like, well,
right.
fuck it. Like we only got like those two tournaments like in within like a few
Yeah.
months of each other. Like there's still
Mhm.
people. I mean, besides that, like even if people didn't have a problem with Uncharted 3, not everyone bought Uncharted 3. Like a lot of us were just kids, teenagers at the time, and
Yeah.
we don't have money to be buying games or whatever. A lot of people just didn't have Uncharted 3 yet. So I'm like,
I
Yeah.
feel like Big Two Crew would have eventually retired, and you would have taken their place,
yeah.
probably.
Yeah, if
Yes.
anything, it would maybe be that like either they would have gotten some controversy,
Oh,
or
you mean like they
They
kind of
get
did?
positive too.
yeah, yeah, either that. But again, like I mean, like I feel like I don't know why like I was the only one who thought of like maybe other people were thinking about doing Uncharted 2 tournaments, but like I think because it was so close to Uncharted 3's release, like no one else was really thinking about it. But I'm like, well, I'm not doing an Uncharted 3 tournament. um, so I did it, and then it went like okay, but then like over the next, a few months later, I was like, I could do this way better. Like I learned about like how to host a tournament, so I did one in
Yeah.
2012 then, and then that one went like very well. And then I took like a year off until the 2013 one, and like a few people had tournaments, and they like were either like a complete disaster, or it was something like I think it was Monster and Huzakde hosted one at like the end of 2012, early 2013, in which like none of the matches were like uploaded, and the rules there was no like post about it. It was on like one of their Facebooks, I think. And yeah, it was just like it was very like not like public and not like anyone like for me like it really matters that everyone's aware of the tournament and that you kind of like announce your shit and kind of advertise for it because there are
Yeah.
teams that would play that might not have heard about the tournament or whatever. So and then just for history's sake, like I would like to have all the matches just uploaded publicly. So I felt like everyone was doing it like terribly, and besides like Monster again, theirs was fine, but it was just like how many people are really talking about that tournament? you know, it's just like basically no one. Like I feel like I'm the only one, and not because it wasn't like legit. Like Two Fly won that shit, but it's just like it's not out there. It's not, you know, it's not as well documented. It's not, you know. Um, so yeah, I stepped in to make the Uncharted the 2013 tournament then, because I was like, okay, fuck, I've done this twice now, and like I know for sure, like I could get all the matches up. It's gonna be like a whole thing. Drop a fucking, you know, trailer for it, whatever, and I'm gonna fucking DM like every goddamn team leader that I possibly can. So I got Ox and OMG to join in, um, which I don't think either of them played in the Monster and Husakde one that Two Fly won. Um, so yeah, it was just like at that point, I was just like, okay, this is like way different. We had like the fucking iconic grand finals, TDT versus OMG. I'm just like, okay, no one else is gonna do this shit in a way that makes sense. And so then, yeah, I just kept making more, and yeah, that's it.
Yeah, I mean, that was kind of the angle I was coming from, is that because I feel like a big motivator for those tournaments was that there wasn't really anything else that existed at that point because of everything, because all the players had left and there was Uncharted 3. So I feel like, if you have an already existing comp scene that's doing tournaments and whatnot, then maybe Big Two Crew doesn't see the need for a tournament. Like they might still do it, but because I can't speak to their motivations, but I just think I do think part of it was because there wasn't really anything for comp players of Uncharted 2, so it was kind of just done to have something. Whereas if you already have something, it's like we already have it, so we don't there isn't as much of a need for hosting tourneys, like because there's already a system there, and not to mention hosting can be quite, it's a lot of work. So at least it kind of frees you up to play in the tourney if you're not having to host it, So there's
Yeah.
also that to think about.
Hmm. Yeah. But anyway, what is your what if a bit your what
Yeah, it
ifs?
was pretty limited because honestly there aren't that many teams when I thought about teams uh I don't think X team should play this team because I kind of know most of the results or can imagine what most of them would be like, but teams that came to mind would be if Prime OMG played Get Positive, like what does that look like? You
Mm.
know? And heck, if we wanted to lump it in with if 1.05 never happens, what does that look like in pre 1.05 format? OMG versus Get Plus,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Or,
that'd be cool.
it'd be very interesting just because it's unknown territory. We both know, we all know the teams are great, but they never really matched up against each other. They were at completely different times. I also had again Odyssey versus Prime OMG, which just because it hasn't happened, but yeah, I have an idea of who would probably win that one. But and again to mention Get Positive again, but Get Positive versus Odyssey, like.
That'd be cool. That'd be so
Mm.
cool.
Yeah, to be honest, there's quite a few matchups now, with all the teams you guys mentioned, that probably would be cool, like PWA as well. Um,
Legit illicitness.
yeah, or seeing teams with more pure skill players going against some of these teams that are just more tactical in nature. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, but that was pretty much really all I had. But honestly, with the whole 1.05 not happening, it's just a huge game changer, I think. And well,
For sure.
yeah,
That's so crazy. All the matches we could have had. We Us versus Odyssey.
god damn Naughty Dog, man, why did you have to make
Yeah, fuck
Uncharted 3 and
Naughty Dog.
4? What the fuck, man?
Literally, bro. How
Holy
dare
fuck.
Like, especially Uncharted 4, man, that was cooked.
they?
Mm.
I don't know what people who think that game is good be smoking, but
Yeah. Yeah, because I have. So I'll just say like a few more what ifs here, just to explain like kind of the removing 1.05 or removing Uncharted 3 or 4 from existence thing kind of covers this. So I have something along the lines like, what if Get Positive actually played in that first Big Two Crew tournament if they didn't drop out?
Yeah.
Again, it's the same kind of idea of just what the fuck. Actually, real quick, I'll pause on this. Real quick, do you think Get Positive wins that tournament if they sign up?
If it's their top lineup and their practice, absolutely.
If it was?
Definitely, it's definitely a possibility. I don't know if I would say 100%, but it's definitely like I wouldn't be shocked, if they did win type deal. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's Get Positive, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. I would say like I'd put it at like 70% chance Get Positive wins, and it's probably like a 3-1 or something versus OMG, assuming
Yeah.
they're opposite sides of the bracket. I mean, if they're on
Mhm.
OMG's side of the bracket, then yeah, same deal, and then I'm pretty sure they sweep anyone in the finals besides
Yeah.
like maybe Pure.
I mean, they won the first Big Two Crew tournament on Uncharted 3, and they were better at Uncharted 2 than they were at Uncharted 3, and they cooked OMG in the Uncharted 3 Fragnation finals. So I think if there's any comparison we could make, it would probably be that. I still think they clear for sure.
It kind of counters itself because OMG were definitely not the monsters on Uncharted 3 that they were on Uncharted 2. Like just from personally playing them, like they definitely weren't. They were a strong team, but they weren't. Something about Uncharted 3 just didn't click for them. I feel like compared to 2.
Hmm.
So yeah.
Fair enough. Fair enough. But yeah, then along pretty much the same lines is what if TDT had started in 2010?
Ooh,
But again,
that's a good one.
that kind of covers the
Yeah.
same ideas. I mean, it's a little bit
Right.
different just for the timing, but you know,
Yeah. That's a good one though. It's a real good one.
Yeah.
because even if differently than Uncharted 3 or 4 not dropping or 1.05 not dropping, like it changes what they're like how they're learning the game and what they're doing. Like they aren't coming in, level 40 and 50 playing against teams that are all trying to spawn trap and just
Yeah.
soaking in information. It's like
Hmm.
the game is being played differently and they're playing
Yeah.
objective modes and like probably shapes their playstyles a little bit differently.
Hmm.
So that's very interesting. But yeah, since those are kind of covered, I will actually get into it. I have a kind of a funny one here. this
Hmm.
is what if Pierre dropped lefties?
Oh my god.
Because I I think they could have like 2 tournament wins.
Oh, in like the Big Two Crew tournament?
Yeah.
Yeah. Not real.
Like
Totally real.
why was lefties playing?
I don't know, bro.
I don't get it, bro. He went 8-20 versus UB in their game.
That's
That is
crazy.
insane. That's a Mario Madness score right there, man. Like,
Literally, bro.
It's so fucking
And
wild.
I'm pretty sure he was Mario Madness's 2v2 duo. I'm pretty sure, at least for a while.
Jesus Christ.
It's so funny.
Hey, anyway. But yeah, I'll let you guys go for another. I don't know if you have any thoughts on Pure without lefties.
I think it kind of speaks for itself. I would just be pointing out the obvious.
I don't need to cook lefties any harder than you just did, so like, yeah.
I can't cook him as
Yeah.
hard as OMG did. Or UB.
Or UB, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can't really say anything anyway because Lefties was on the team that like cooked gods, so I can't really be like, oh yeah, I agree with you, because he'd be like, what the fuck, man? You got cooked as well.
Am I
So
crazy for thinking this? Wasn't Lefty's co-leader
I think
of Pure?
he might have
I
been.
feel like he was.
I'm pretty sure.
maybe.
I'm pretty sure he was like real life, like friends with Karma. So
Ah, okay.
I think he was there literally because they were homies. So
Yeah.
yeah. And
Damn.
to be fair,
And
lefties.
I'm pretty sure Naruto and Halo are friends in real life too. Funny enough.
Yeah, I'm
Pretty
with
sure.
it. But yeah, did you have any other what if things that you didn't go over random?
Yeah, I have 3. What if Die played for OMG instead of Get Positive?
Ooh.
Is
That's
OMG the best team
interesting.
in the game then? Like undeniably, like would they beat Get Positive?
It
Would they ever
depends.
lose? Would they lose to Pure in those rematch games?
Who replaces Die?
And
Is
who
it,
does Die replace?
Yeah.
or is it just someone from B team fills in? Because
Uh,
it also really depends because Mac joined Get
on Get
Positive
Positive.
towards the
Yeah,
end.
yeah,
Yeah, because
right.
yeah.
Not with Tice. I don't know. I guess Nitro. Nitro would take a spot.
Oh no, OMG cooks them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you
Nitro?
think OMG would lose to Pure with Tice
No,
in the rematches?
no.
Nah.
You think OMG clears?
I think it'd be really close, but like Die, Sergio, Carrie Iker, Santi, and like probably Spalga. I would say Ivan would be the
Yeah.
one I would probably boot, even though it's like very close. Like,
Yeah. No, I agree. I agree.
yeah, if your front line is Carrie, Die, and Sergio,
Yeah,
Yeah.
like it's not that's asking a lot, you know what I mean? To
yeah.
So 3v3, you think Dai, Carry, and Sergio would beat Freddy, Tice, and Naruto?
Um, I think so, but not because I think they're better. I think the comms would be much better
Okay.
in
yeah,
that.
because
Yeah,
Freddie doesn't
I
do
guess Freddy
comms.
doesn't talk. Yeah, I
Freddy
forgot about
Yeah.
that.
Tice isn't like amazing with this call outs, and like
Hmm.
Naruto and Alex are like really the like kind of backbone as far as like strats
Right.
for pure.
Makes sense. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah. Yeah. I think it'd be super close though. Like I think Pure could beat that team in a series, but I think, play like 100 series, I'd say OMG's probably winning like 60, 65 of those.
Right.
Mhm.
But yeah, Get Positive. I think if you replace Die on Get Positive with Tice, who did join Get Positive like very late, um, then I think Get Positive still holds up. Just because I don't think Die was like the head of all their strats. He was, basically just like the
The
uh,
enforcer, the
how did
muscle.
yeah
Yeah.
the muscle, and like Tice can do that. I think just as well
Oh
as
yeah, for
Die.
sure, for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Infamous. Did you want to go over any of your other like matchups? I think you mentioned a couple. But...
Uh, I did just think of something else besides matchups. It's something we kind of mentioned earlier a little bit. As a what if? What if, right? Seastroy was never an ENT, so they never cheated, and you replace him with like an actual good player, like I don't know.
NREV.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
I was going to say myself personally, but that's
Oh.
fine.
Oh, sure.
A player that's actively playing right now because I don't think NRev is around.
No, no.
So yeah, so like yeah, how do they do? Like if they're not cheating, I mean they
Yeah.
obviously probably don't win the finals, but
Yeah.
I feel like they still do reasonably well because that
Yeah.
was kind of the thing about that whole thing is they had legitimately good players on there. Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
so yeah, if you just get rid of Seastroy, you know, put someone else good on the team,
Yeah.
there and thereby we don't see the craziest play ever in Uncharted history or the sack of the spot. You
Yeah.
know,
Literally, bro.
Miss out on
yeah,
that content.
yeah, I miss out on that. No FBI investigation for Randy.
Bro.
Literally, bro.
I don't get to cook because I was there for that as well. Like,
Hmm.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
sure I'm sure somebody from ENT is like, oh look, they're mentioning us again. Rent free, rent free.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I would call that like 4-1, maybe 4-2 to Odyssey.
Yeah.
versus ENT, legit ENT.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. I mean, we took 2
Yeah.
maps off of them when they were fucking hacking. So
Yeah.
to take away the hacking, I'm pretty sure it's easily 4-1 at best for them.
At best,
So
probably, depending on
Yeah.
who you replace them with, I guess. Yeah.
yeah, like
'Cause
they probably would have beat us on Trainwreck Turf War because we were ass at that map at the time and might still be.
yeah.
But other than that, I think
Yeah.
we cooked them pretty hard.
Yeah.
Fair. All right,
It's a good one.
I think yeah, I'll say my last one, and then I'll let you finish this off, random.
Sure.
My last one, and I think I mentioned this just in DMs before, but for me, it's what if Freddy actually played in the Final Redemption tournament finals for UB.
Nice.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
I would call that 3-1, maybe 3-2 to UB, just because,
Yeah, I
again,
kind
like
of agree, to be honest.
his substitute is either like Bad or Luigi.
Mhm.
So if you have Freddy, Tice, Matt Yoit, Glory, and either Bad to the Bone, I would say he's probably a little bit better than Luigi.
I agree.
So yeah, that 5 against OMG, especially with the way Tice was kind of cooking. You just add like top tier Slayer in there to be on the front lines with Tice. Like, I kind of feel like UB takes it.
I agree, man. I totally do. Like you replace their worst player with arguably their best player. Like absolutely, those matches were still close despite
Trainwreck was the
that,
only
so.
one that was like more than 10 kills, but yeah, Temple Sanctuary, I think
Yeah.
we're both like 4 or 5, maybe 6 kills.
Mhm.
I don't know if you have an opinion on that one, Infamous, who you would take in that series.
I mean, no, definitely. Like, I agree with pretty much what you said. I mean, to be honest, I think there's a crazier what if in that same vein. What if Freddie actually used the mic and actually,
Yeah,
talk?
that's what I thought you were gonna.
Yeah.
That's what I thought you were gonna say first.
Like that's kind of. I was just like, yeah. Like, well, what if he used the like Ayo? Like he'd be even more insane. Because like because like that like it's underrated really in the sense of like comms really is a big part of naturally comp. Like it should be an obvious thing, but it's kind of crazy to think how good some players were despite not really communicating. But it just goes to show like how much better could they have been if they had comms and were actually communicating to their team, who then could have maybe played better. So yeah.
Mm-hmm.
My final one is what if Odyssey played TDT in the current formats with OBJ 4v4. I guess you would, Monster can't play for both teams, so I guess you would put him on TDT because, obviously. And, this is also assuming that Odyssey is actually practiced in OBJ, so I wouldn't take like the Odyssey that played KP or ENT versus, TDT because, we definitely did not practice much at all, and especially not anywhere near as much as we should have practiced. So imagine like a prime fully practiced Odyssey versus TDT in OBJ. I assume that, and like, there's of course going to be growing pains with OBJ as every team went through growing pains for GDT, like that they wouldn't be pros at it right away. So they would have to adapt, they would have to learn, they would have to innovate in a way. So that'd be a super interesting matchup, I think.
Who you got in that, random?
That's fucking hard, man. That's so fucking hard. I don't even know, bro. I don't know. I mean, like, it just boils down to what I said in the tournament preview episode that I will never bet against my team. So I'm picking Odyssey, man. But just barely. I'll say that. Just barely.
To me, it has to be Odyssey. I'll tell you why.
Wow.
Obviously, TDT is a great team, like one of the greatest teams. We already know that, right? But realistically, a lot of their players were TDM guys. They weren't really like, even if you gave them the time to like adapt to OBJ, you still have players like, if you put like Yowie there or Balloon, to me those were always TDM guys. So I don't know if they really would have had the mind to play like objective, to be honest.
Wasn't
Um,
Yaoi good in Uncharted 4?
yeah, but that's
He's
Uncharted
decent,
4.
yeah.
It's Uncharted 4.
He's
Like, come on
decent.
now. Come on now. But like, so yeah, like it's like they would definitely be a contender. So it's not like it's a complete wash. But I just think Odyssey, do you look at that team without Monster, and you have players that have a mind for playing OBJ. They have, then there's the actual individual skill as well. They have the skill to match really those players. To be honest, you could maybe argue that maybe they can't match the lag of Balloon, but I think the chaotic nature of OBJ makes the lag not play as much of a factor. To be
Yeah,
honest,
yeah, I think that's fair.
because it's one thing to hold a position on a map and try to get rid of a massive lagger who's just freezing and everything, but if you have to actually run around and get team shot by like 3-4 people, it's a different thing. That lag isn't really going to help you as much. So I
Yeah.
feel like Odyssey take it, but it's not like a stomp out, but it's I'd say like, I don't know, if it was like a best of 5, I'd probably give it, I'll be honest, I'd probably say like 3-2, maybe 3-1 on a good day for Odyssey. That's my
Okay.
that's my thoughts.
Okay.
I think that the difference could be the fact that, just like Odyssey, there would be growing pains for OBJ, and TDT wouldn't be as comfortable playing those matches, and they would probably lose some maps. And I don't think TDT was ever put in a situation where they lost more than one game at a time. So I could totally picture Balloom's diva-ness and his rage and his toxicity, bringing down the team morale and the team chemistry in an OBJ setting where they're losing games and the series is really close, because he was already fucking annoying when his team is winning 50 to 15. So add some losses in there, add some actual stress. I think he could have totally tanked the team for sure.
Wow. Okay.
Go ahead, Thugs.
How long is the series? How long are we talking here? Best of 3, best of 5, best of 7, best of 9.
Yes.
Okay, in a best of 9, I would. I don't know if I'm crazy. I feel like I would go like 5-1 TDT, 5-2.
Damn.
That's
Okay.
crazy. Okay.
I feel like the composition would be like low key. They kind of have a perfect thing of like Glock. I feel like the like anchor who adapts to OBJ is like the easiest thing I could imagine for Glock, because he very much likes to do both. He's very comfortable rushing. And the fact that like him and Monster are like two of the smartest players ever, I think just having them lock down and run strategies, and then just like Balloon can basically just be Raze, where it's like, okay, what do you need? Show me where they are. I'm gonna fuck them up. And then yeah, I think Slick would be.
In my head, it would be Monster, Glock, Balloon, and Slick.
Yeah. So I think that, I mean, as far as like adapting to OBJ, I think like Monster, Glock, and Slick, I have like no questions about, because they're like Glock and Slick are both two players who are like very good at like anchoring, very good fouls, but they do it kind of out of necessity for the team. And then almost any other team, they are the Balloon and Monster kind of player.
Right.
And so I think they would have a fucking blast playing objective modes where they get to run around with Balloon and Monster. And yeah, I definitely, they were always, it wasn't even just a gun skill thing, because there were a lot of teams that had really good like unskilled players, but it really was like the how locked in Monster was for sure, and I guess the dual minds of him and Glock. And again, you have like Monster was such a perfect like frontline kind of player, and Glock was the perfect cover, the perfect support for him. And then you just throw the leggiest motherfucker to ever live just in your face as well. It was playing against it again. It was such a nightmare scenario that it like genuinely there was the longest time where I thought like after the OMG series like they were never going to lose a map ever again. Like and was fucking shocking when Pro took one map and there was like a few kills
Yeah.
difference in Plaza, and that was, you know, fucking Croatia checker, Maddie 90, like two all-time great players, and had the game of their lives. And and TDT responded by completely stomping them, sweeping them in the finals of the next tournament. Like anytime anyone gave TDT a little bit of pushback, they just leveled up. Like it was like, I don't know if you guys ever watched Dragon Ball Z, but fucking Goku, there's another level of Super Saiyan. Seeing them constantly do that, to go from like a really good team and then to facing OMG and having a close like brush with them, and then they just leveled up like so far from there to when they stomped UPG in the Frag Nation finals, and then leveled up to when they played Pro and dropped a map, and then coming back just a couple months later and just complete demolition in the farewell finals. Like, yeah, I have the utmost faith in the minds of Monster and Glock, but